Season 3 for Aston Villa begins today. This will be the final season of the Aston Villa save, and we have gone big in the summer transfer window. We've sold some big name players. We've brought in a big name player who, if I'm perfectly honest, he's too old, but we'll get to him in a minute. With 9 players leaving on permanent deals, the first one up is Callum Wilson. Yes, he has left the club. He's moved over to Italy and he's played 5 times for Bologna and still hasn't scored a goal for them either. We've got £4 million for him. Bargain. Luka Jovic has also left the club. We didn't really play him. He's moved over to, I assume, Saudi Arabia. Yep, it is Saudi Arabia for £8.5 million, which, to be honest, free transfer to £8.5 million, I will take that. For £10 million, we have sold Diego Carlos to Southampton. We did not play him. We just didn't play him. He's getting on. He's 32 years of age now, so we shifted him on. I'm kind of chuckling to myself because I've bought a 33-year-old, not as a centre-back, as a striker. We'll get to him. Alex Moreno has also left the club. We loaned him out last season to Freiburg. He's moved to RB Leipzig on a permanent deal. Not sure how much for. 10.25 million. Alex Krau, I think we mentioned before back in January. We've moved him on to Al Qadsiya in Saudi Arabia, I assume. It's not, is it? He has gone to Saudi Arabia for £11 million. Bargain. Emi Buendia as well has moved over to Saudi Arabia for £12.25 million. Obviously, he missed out the entire first season through injury. We then loaned him out to Fiorentina, and now we've moved him on for a permanent deal for a reasonable amount of money. He's also picking up £500,000 a week, so he's having a lovely time. And something that happened on deadline day, which I am not convinced is a good idea. For £75 million, Pau Torres has moved over to Real Madrid. He was very good for us the seasons that he's been here, but that's a lot of money, and we, as a club, aren't in a particularly good way financially. So I kind of saw that and went, you know what? We've got some players to replace him already. I've brought in a couple of centre-backs. Maybe we don't need him. Joining the club then, in no real particular order, Tommy Doyle is first up. For £1 million, the Man City youngster has joined, and we brought him in because he's English. That is pretty much it. We just need some more English players. Frustratingly, he is over 21 years of age, which means he doesn't count as homegrown. He counts as homegrown in England, but not homegrown in the club. Similarly, we have also brought in Bobby Clark from Liverpool. He's not cost a lot of money at all. £6.25 million? £625,000, that's what it is. He's come in. We want to loan him out, but if he doesn't go out on loan, he'll probably get the odd game here or there off the bench. We've also brought in Alex Valle from Barcelona on a free transfer. He was out of contract, brought him in, immediately loaned him out to Nottingham Forest, who are in the Premier League. So he's going to be getting Premier League football for a season, and then next year is realistically when he's going to come in as the backup to Mike Norrie. Someone we brought in and then immediately loaned out is Robert Wagner. We need some more central midfielders. Wagner is a decent one, and he's gone back on loan to Freiburg. 6.25 million, I think, in total. Or not, 4.3, sure. It was Benjamin Kremaski who cost £6.25 million from Inter Milan. We did try and sign this guy in January, but we obviously didn't have any transfer budget. So we couldn't. We literally had no transfer budget. We brought him in now. Obviously, he spent a season or two playing with Leo Messi. Hopefully, he's learned some things. Another young player to come in and then immediately go out on loan, which I might regret, is Leopold Querfeld, signed from SK Rapid Vienna for 13-point-something million. He's gone out on loan to Atletico Madrid. Obviously, I did this before I sold Torres. So I kind of want to bring this guy back. I don't think I can. We might be able to, but not until January by the looks of it. We do have ourselves a very good central defender in Marash Kumbula, who is formerly of Roma and Verona. We brought him in on a free transfer, the Albanian international, because he just got released. Although, frustratingly, he didn't get a work permit, but it's fine. The new ESC thing, whatever it is, means that we can play him for a year, and hopefully he plays enough games to actually get a proper work permit. We've also loaned in Sam Amayor from Southampton, because we want some young wingers. There's no deal here to sign him on a permanent deal. He's not going to play a lot. He's been brought in because he's English and 19. He doesn't need to be registered, which is good. Somebody who we have brought in who does need to be registered is Ryan Gravenberch. He is on loan from Liverpool. No option for a permanent deal, or if there is, it's something ridiculous. 40.5 million. Maybe we might do that if he's any good. I'm not expecting him to play a huge amount of football, but he's good enough. He can come off the bench. We've also brought a new goalkeeper in Lucas Perry from, I assume, Botafogo. BOT is who they are in the game. He's cost £8.5 million. Apparently he was on loan at Crystal Palace a while ago. Never played for them. Didn't really start playing football until 2023. He's 27. What was he doing? What was he doing up until 2023? And the big one is Son Heung-min. He's just turned 33. We've brought him from Spurs. We're going to play him as a striker. He's cost £30 million. Is it too much money? It sure is too much money, but he is still very, very good at football, and I'm hoping, because we're only going to do one more year, it doesn't matter that he's 33 years old. Now, because we've obviously done a whole load of transfers, players leaving and joining the club, there have been some loan deals as well. Some of them are very, very important and worth talking about. Emiliano Martinez, for example, going out on loan to Porto. This is why we brought in Perry. I've decided Martinez is done. I don't want Martinez. He's not been particularly great for us over the last couple of seasons. We ended up playing, I've already forgotten his name, we're at Castiles instead of Martinez, and I'm kind of happy that he's moved on. We've also loaned out Scott McTominay to Stuttgart, Coutinho to Sao Paulo, maybe? Could be Sao Paulo. Rory Wilson to Burnley. He's ridiculous. He's getting really, really good. I kind of wanted to keep him. Tim to Hull, again, another player I wanted to keep. We've also loaned out Kerr Smith to MK Dons, a player that I was considering keeping as well on loan. Kellyman's also gone to Burnley, so we've got Wilson and Kellyman playing for Burnley. If they play two up front, that could be absolute filth. Josh Feeney's another decent youngster going out on loan to Preston. We've got Ratnick to Luton, who are now a feeder club of ours. Duran to Millwall. Rosiak's gone to Doncaster along with Nowusu. Lasava has gone to Cardiff. Katongo to Fleetwood. And a man called Ewan Simpson's gone to Wickham. And we've done a fair amount of transfer business, I think you'll find. But we've actually made a bit of money. We've made some profit. We've got £75 million in the bank still to spend if we would like to spend it. The transfer window has literally just closed. It is 11 o'clock on the 1st of September, which is when it closed. And since the start of the season, we've been awful. We've not been awful. We've just had some difficult games, okay? We've lost against Liverpool. We've lost against Chelsea. We've beaten Everton. We now have to play Spurs, which could mean Son Heung-min plays against Spurs and scores against them. And that is going to happen in this episode, although we've got to wait 12 days. Right then, our first game of the season on camera, and it will be a start for Son Heung-min up front against his former team. It's going to be Perry in goal, Goldson, Boyomo, Mings, and Nukadine in defence, Luis Kamara, Sanket in midfield, Diaby, Ramsey, and Son leading the line. If Son scores, I'm going to be very happy. I do need him to score more goals than Callum Wilson did, though, because he's cost £6 million more, and he's just as old as him as well. So as I mentioned earlier, we have not started the season particularly well because we've had two very, very difficult games to play, but I'm hoping we can kind of do something here. Obviously, Spurs are still pretty good. They are currently just below us in the table. We are the Friday night kickoff, I imagine. So a win here will potentially put us onto 6 points, which could put us as high as 6th if we win like 8-0, which we're not going to. Well, 20 minutes played, we are not going to win at all if nothing actually happens. We're going to push the positive, see if we can get any highlights. Tyrone Mings with the ball, plays it backwards to Boyomo. Where are you going to go, fella? Across to Tyrone Mings. Down the bottom, please, is where we want to go. Mings goes for a slow wander. I was considering selling Mings in the summer if a bid came in. Nobody wanted him. Ramsey, he's going to go for a little run. Number 41, Son Heung-min against his former team. Douglas Luiz's pass is not the best. Madison's nicked it off him. Kulusevski, though, loses out. Kamara to Diaby. Son, with his pace, tries to go for a run, but Mickey van der Ven can nick the ball off Diaby and go for a little run forward himself. Kulusevski collects it. Back to Bentancur. Over the top, Mings gets that head. Anthony Gordon, wearing a Spurs shirt, tries to cross the ball in, but walks straight into Connor Goldson. Kamara on the ground to nobody. What is going on with these passing? Both of the teams' passing is not very good. Or possession for Spurs, I guess. Long-range effort. Oh my word, what a finish that is from Pavlidis. It's 1-0 to Spurs. Lucas Perry, so far, has not really proved to be a good goalkeeper. I've got a feeling that Pavlidis is the replacement for Son, because that was his debut and he obviously just scored on it. So, yeah, maybe they got rid of Son because they didn't want him, not because he was getting old or something along those lines. Kepa playing for Spurs. Bentancur with the ball. Diaby's not going to quite get there first. Mickey van der Ven goes for a run down the line to Anthony Gordon. I feel like we are going to get absolutely spanked here. Basuma's effort is blocked by Mings. Didn't look like it was blocked. Looked like it was a shot from a 10-year-old. Kulusevski has gone over to take the corner. That is a difficult name to say. Crosses it in towards Pavlidis at the back post. He heads over the bar. Still 1-0 to Spurs. Spurs are looking very, very good, which is a concern. The good news after this, we do have Nottingham Forest, who are bottom of the table already. 3 games played, 0 points on the board. So if we lose against Spurs, we do have the opportunity to kind of bounce back against Forest later on in this episode, which is a match that we definitely should be able to win. We've got to be better in front of goal, and by better, have shots would be nice. Oh, absolutely magical. Are you joking? A foot injury for Son. We've got Jurassi on the bench. We've got Amoa Mayor on the bench as well. Jurassi shouldn't really be playing, but Amoa Mayor is not a striker. He's a winger. The fact that we've spent £30 million on a 33-year-old Son Heung-min, who now might be injured for a prolonged amount of time, is potentially frustrating. Ramsey's playing poorly. Amoa Mayor is going to come on that right-hand side. I say right-hand side, left-hand side. Do we want to do that? And who's better? I mean, Amoa Mayor can play on either. That's fine. We'll do both of those. Kamara can come off as well. Kremashki can come on for sure. You can sit there. Have we got any more subs? I feel like we should keep that last one just in case we get an injury to somebody like Lucas Perry. Whilst it's still 1-0, we're still definitely not out of this game, but we're just not getting the shots at all. Into the final 10 minutes, not a single highlight. This has been such a dull game. The biggest talking point is the fact that Pavlidis has scored and Son Heung-min's picked up an injury. Jurassi's on a 6.4, so he's doing just as bad as what Son was doing. The full-time whistle goes, no real highlights to talk about. A 1-0 defeat. I'm disappointed. That was not very good. I don't want that to be a bad injury. I mean, who does, to be fair, but still. That was... Becky Fenton, that was really poor. Son suffers injury, what is it, 2 weeks? You're out for 2 weeks already. We don't really have any strikers. Because of the transfers we did over the summer, our striking options are literally Jurassi and Son. Diaby, Amoa Mayor, maybe could play up front. Alcaraz, but he's not registered for at least the Champions League. I mean, I'm not good at transfers, am I? I might have balls this up. Anyway, we're going to go forward. We're going to play the Porto game off camera. So the Champions League will go over in just a second. We'll come back for the Nottingham Forest game, which I want to be able to win something on camera, basically, in episode 1 of the season. Champions League, we have Porto, a winnable game. We have Genk, a winnable game. We have Dinamo, a winnable game. We have Inter Milan, not so sure about that one. Slavia Prague is definitely winnable. Monaco, not so sure about that one either. And then Benfica, winnable. Man City, I don't know why we're playing them, to be honest. So I think we're in for a good chance of maybe finishing top 16 is my kind of guess. That's where I want to be finishing. I don't think we're going to finish in the top 8, but we can win quite a lot of those games that we've got. We are going to be playing against Emiliano Martinez's Porto, and I'm pretty sure he's registered as well to play against us. So yeah, we'll be back for the Forest game, and I might be swearing a little bit because... yeah, if Martinez plays and plays well, not going to be happy. Right then, match number 2 of the season. We've just beaten Porto 6-5. Yes, it's a thing. It happened. I don't really know what went on, but we did manage to pick up the 3 points and still concede 5 goals. Doesn't really matter, does it? For the Forest game then, it is going to be Perry in goal, Goldson, Kumbala, Mings and Luke Dean in defence. We're going to see Kumbala on camera today. Douglas Luiz, Kamara and Sanket in midfield. Diaby, Ramsey and Jurassi leading the line for this one. We still don't quite have Son Heung-min back. He's going to be back in about 6 days, which is kind of annoying, really. So our season hasn't really kicked off as well as I'd hoped, but we have played 3 very good sides so far. Forest are probably the worst team to play us in the first 5 games of the season. We've also beaten Everton as well, who aren't very good, but they're probably better than Forest. Tyrone Mings goes for a long-range effort. Kamara to Goldson. Douglas Luiz onside finds Ramsey. And Odyssey's Vlachimodos, or whatever his name is, makes a very good save as a very loud motorbike goes past my house. Well, we are starting off well. Lots of possession, lots of shots, but nothing's really going on. Matty Cash playing for Nottingham Forest. He did get released, or he only had a 1-year contract over in Saudi Arabia. I was tempted to bring him back, and then he wanted £300,000 a week, and I thought, yep, that's definitely not happening. Diaby collects this ball, goes for a run towards goal, tries to find some space for himself, and instead just passes it to a Forest player. What was that all about? They're coming for a run. Jacob Ramsey can nick the ball, though. He's going to go for a little wander in towards the middle of the pitch. Number 41 for some reason. Kamara to Diaby. Goes away from goal once again. Douglas Luiz collects it. Now Sanket to Jurassi. Sanket's carried on his run. Ramsey plays it on the ground to Jurassi. He has to score. He does score. His 4th goal of the season. We take the lead against Nottingham Forest. And maybe we didn't need to buy Son Heung-min. Jacob Ramsey, by the way, is a 4.5-star left winger for us. And I don't really know where it's come from. He's just absolutely insane. We did have some interest in the summer for Ramsey, but I was just not letting him go. He's actually just signed a new contract, along with, I think, Diaby and Douglas Luiz have both signed new deals. Speaking of, Douglas Luiz finds Ramsey. Luca Dean's got acres of space. Diaby's control is not the best. Kamara chest down to Douglas Luiz. Luca Dean on that left-hand side. Plenty of options in the middle if he can get his cross away. Ramsey on the ground to Diaby. Blasts it into the back of the net. It's 2-0, half an hour played, and this is looking like a pretty good performance so far. One more goal, and we are going to zero out our goal difference, which wasn't looking particularly hot, particularly after the Chelsea game that we played, where we lost, I think, 4-2. Goldson with the throw to Kamara. Back to Goldson. Girassi just gets kicked, but it's fallen to Diaby. He's hit the post. Ramsey's effort is blocked. That could have been the third before half-time. Instead, it stays 2-0, but we are just looking good, aren't we? We are looking very, very good. I'm happy with how things are going. Everyone seems chuffed, which is good. The fact, literally it said about Kamara, he looked chuffed. I don't think Kamara even knows the understanding of that word. Not many people do. It's to Kumbulla. He's not managed to get there. Luca Dean's going to collect instead. Back to the Albanian. Girassi away from goal. Connor Goldson to Douglas Luiz on that left-hand side. Cuts past a couple of players. Sangara's given him a little kick. Maybe pulled his shirt. It is going to be a penalty, which I assume is going to be Douglas Luiz to take it. Penalty is awarded. There we go. And it is going to be Douglas Luiz, the man who earned the penalty as well. Stepping up then. We are 2 minutes into the second half. Can we make it 3-0? We can. Dougie Luiz. And we are looking very comfortable. His third goal of the season from defensive midfield. Right, I want to get a couple more goals, okay? I think a 3-0 win's nice on paper, but we're playing so well, we can get a couple more goals here. Unless Forest can get a goal themselves, which I'd love it if Perry kept a clean sheet, to be honest. He's not going to, because he's... How? How do I do that? How do I do that every time? I say, I want to make sure that we keep a clean sheet. Concede a goal instantly. It's 3-1. I don't know why Perry is so bad at football at the moment. I'm wondering whether he can't speak the language. Possibly that's it. Sanket with the ball. I was considering doing some subs, but we're going to see what this highlight brings first. Kamara on the ground to Felipe, apparently. Now Forest can possibly counter-attack. Ball off to the left-hand side for Callum Hudson-Odoi. In the middle to Danilo. Over the top to Correa. Perry's going to concede another one. Perry's awful. Perry is absolutely awful. It's 3-2. They're saying it's Kumbulla's mistake. I don't see how that's Kumbulla's mistake. It's straight at the goalkeeper. Connor Goldson with a throw. I still wanted to do the subs and haven't done anything yet. Kamara spins and finds some space for himself. His pass isn't the best, and now Forest can counter-attack. Once again, right-hand side is Prestiani. Goes for a little run. Luca Dean's keeping up with him every single step of the way, though. Plays it back to Andrew Omabadiele. Could be his name. I know there's something along those lines. He's going to go for a little run again. The former Norwich player. Felipe. Right-hand side is Matty Cash. He'd love to score against me because he must hate me. Matty Cash goes for a little wander down the line. Crosses in. Hudson-Odoi's there. Connor Goldson clears it. Diaby's not going to get there just yet. Ball forward. Crosses in. Correa's scored. He's offside. And by he, Prestiani is offside. If he's not offside, I'm going to be furious. Because we were 3-0 up, guys. We were 3-0 up and we've thrown this away. What have we done? We've not even done badly. They've just had 3 shots. Perry's just awful at football. I can't believe we shipped out old Martinez because I thought, you know what, Lucas Perry looks pretty decent. Let's bring him in. He was wanted by, I think Man United wanted Perry. So it's like, he must be a good goalkeeper. And he's absolute garbage, isn't he? I feel like Forest are going to score here. Sanket's nicked the ball. Hold on, here we go. Counter-attack time. We need to win this game. A draw is not good enough. At home, Gerassi's been kicked by Aina. I think that was outside the box. Girassi has also gone down like he's been shot. I'm hoping that's not an injury because we can't afford another injury to a striker. It's not a penalty. Girassi, you better not be injured, you clown. I think he's actually injured. It's going to be a free kick. It's going to be Douglas Luiz going over to take it. Gerassi's up. Okay, he's maybe fine. Possibly. Don't know. Are we going to get something from this? Come on, Dougie. Dougie Luiz, stick it on the ground, to be honest. You got a couple of options literally just right in front of you on that left-hand side. Just on the ground. What's happening, guys? Douglas Luiz eventually takes the free kick towards Tyrone Mings. It is up into the air, gone off for a corner. We've still obviously not done our subs yet. Luca Dean's the man to take the corner. Number 23's lurking. Kumbulla is the number 23 towards Kamara. Doesn't quite get there. Kumbulla's given him a push in the back. It's a free kick. What a clown. Right, he's not done well, has he? Boyomo's going to come on. We're also going to do Kamara off for Gravenberch. Sure, you can be the box-to-box midfielder. What else do we want to do here? I mean, Ramsey's playing well, but he's not really done anything. He's on an 8.7, but what's he got to show for it? We're going to do Rooney for Diaby, I think, is what we're going to do. We've still got 15 minutes. There is another goal in this game. There is another goal in this game. We're going to push to positive. The fact that we've conceded 3 goals and they don't even have 1 XG is infuriating. It's 6 minutes of injury time. Corner for Forest. What has happened? What has actually happened? Not only have we lost this game, we've not even deserved to concede a goal and we've let in 4. I genuinely... I mean, this is the definition of being FM'd, right? This is being FM'd? Nottingham Forest are the greatest football team in the world. Right, Lucas, you better be a good goalkeeper, mate, because I'm chucking something at you. Your mistakes, plural, appear to lack belief. You're damn right you lack belief. You were not very good at football, mate. We would have been better off playing Connor Goldson in goal. He does have 3 rating in goal. We are 14th in the table after 5 league games. 14th. You want to discuss club matters? Yes, mate. You know what? No, I understand, but do your job, and I won't throw things at you. Now I'm going to warn him. I can't give him a fine because he's not been at the club long enough. Last game, horrendous. Beckon in. Come on, lad. Your goalkeeping was not good enough. You made too many mistakes. You're very happy. I mean, you're not going to play the next game, which is against Chelsea in the Cup. Okay, maybe you are going to play that one because I don't care if we get knocked out. We've got Stoke in the league next. It's not a good start to the season, is it? It's really not a good start. Right, I'm desperately looking at the league table to try and see if there are any positives. We only concede 8 goals in 4 games. That's a lot, isn't it? We've scored 7 in 4 games. We do have a game. That's not even us. Oh, that's Leeds. We've conceded 12 in 5, but scored 8. So we're scoring. Feel like this season's not started off too well. I guess the big question on everybody's lips at the start of this episode is, have we managed to turn things around with Aston Villa? The short answer is yes. The long answer is yes, we definitely have, because we've gone undefeated. In fact, we have not lost a single game between episodes. And that includes beating Chelsea in the Carabao Cup 4-1, winning all of our Champions League games so far, including a 3-1 win against Inter Milan where Sanket scored a hat-trick, somehow, from central midfield. We've beaten, who else have we beaten? Stoke, Palace, Brentford, Norwich and Brighton in the league. Even Son Heung-min getting on the score sheet, getting his first Aston Villa goals in the league as well. He also scored against Middlesbrough in the Carabao Cup 4th round. Today, we're going to be playing West Ham, Newcastle and maybe Slavia Prague, depending on how quickly these 2 matches go. We're up to 6th. We're doing alright. We're actually not too far off the Champions League spots, which realistically probably needs to be our target for this season. The frustrating thing is, yes, Son has scored his first goals for Villa. He's also picked up his second injury for Villa. He's out for 4 to 5 weeks with a hernia. He's not really setting the world on fire. Actually, it's his 3rd injury. He did pick up a small knock as well against Genk, which meant he missed the Palace game. So, Son, at the age of 33, he's quite injury prone at the moment. So for the match against West Ham, this is what we're going to go for. Lucas Perry keeps his place in goal. He's got better. He's still not great, but he's got better since the last episode. Goldson, Boyomo Mings and Luca Dean in defence. Douglas, Luiz, Kamara and Sanka in midfield. Diaby and Amoameo on the wings with Girassi leading the lines. In this one, we are also missing Rooney through injury, which is not ideal. Obviously, he's pretty good, but he's only out for 6 days to potentially up to 2 weeks, so he should be back sooner rather than later. I think we should be good enough to win both matches in this episode, or maybe even all 3. And now I've said that out loud, I think we're going to lose all 3. So West Ham have been on a bit of a downward slide when it comes to form, although they've only lost 1 of their last 5, but 2 draws as well in a row. We are on 5 wins out of 5. I think isn't it 7 or 8 wins out of 8? Something ridiculous like that. We are on ridiculously good form. I'm going to keep saying the word ridiculous. We are the evening kickoff, by the way. So everyone else has played their match. Although this is our 11th game of the season, and everyone above us is only on 10. Douglas Luiz collects the ball from Amoameo, ball forward towards Girassi, doesn't find him. What was his name? Canelo? Vasquez down that left-hand side for West Ham, crosses the ball in. Vitek raises highest. Lucas Perry lets that one go over for a goal kick. Off the bar, by the way. Free kick for Luca Dean. In a decent position. He's gone for goal himself. Goes over the bar. Goalkeeper not even troubled one bit by that one. Good to see that even in the full game and with a patch or 2 under our belts, goalkeepers still get injured. I was going to say there's lots of high-scoring matches, but goalkeepers still get injured, apparently. Potential arm injury for Lucas Perry. Castiles is obviously going to be coming on. Straight swap that one. Not really too concerned, although we now have used one of our subs and we've got an injury to our goalkeeper, which isn't good. Luca Dean's also taken a knock. He's got a tight hamstring. Diaby also needs to come off after this match. I think we've got like a 2-week break because of internationals, so we're going to get the chance to get a lot of fitness back into our players. Luca Dean with a free kick in a good position. Connor Goldson's there, doesn't get on the end of it. Camelo, though, can control it and run this one away for West Ham down the right-hand side. Forward to Jared Bowen. First touch was heavy, but can run on to the end of it. Being forced out wide. Bowen keeps going, though. It's towards Camelo in the middle, and we go 1-0 down against West Ham. Kind of, I would say, against the run of play. We don't know what the run of play has been, do we? Because we've not seen many highlights. Right, half-time, we are going to have to do some changes because those fitness numbers are not good. They are very, very concerning. Obviously, West Ham, they didn't really deserve that. I don't think they deserve that. Looking at those charts, I don't think they deserved it. We're going to do Ait Nori coming on for Luca Dean. Do we do anything else? Sanket's struggling. Diaby is struggling, so we'll do Leon Bailey coming on that right-hand side as well. We've done 3 of our 5 subs by half-time, which is not good. I'm blaming fitness for this. We've seen it before in previous seasons where fitness has a massive impact on performance. West Ham seem to be slightly fitter than we are at the moment. Final 20 minutes, nothing's happened in this second half. We've had absolutely no highlights whatsoever. We're going to do a sub. It's going to be... They recommend bringing on Konsa up front. What? Why? He's got 5 finishing. We're not doing that. We're going to do... We've got no strikers. We're going to do Alcaraz. There's a highlight going on in the background. I don't think it's an actual highlight. I think it's just because I'm doing subs. Sanket's also going to come off for Kremaski, who... Is it Kremaski? Kremashi? Not quite sure. I mean, that's everything, isn't it? That's absolutely everything. So the 5 subs then, obviously we brought on Alcaraz up front, which I'm not best pleased with, but Girassi was playing badly and we've got no other options. Kremashi onto that central midfield spot in the middle, replacing Sanket, who scored a hat-trick in his last match against Inter Milan. We're going to lose 1-0 against West Ham. Not a good performance by, to be honest, either side. This is going to be one of those seasons where on camera we're awful and off camera we're good, and you're all going to think that I'm saving and reloading. No, just getting unlucky at the moment. Luca Dean's out for 1 to 3 days. Not too bad. Fractured wrist for Lucas Perry. So you're out for time. Fair enough. It's okay because we do have ourselves a third goalkeeper, which we didn't have last season, and he is now registered as well. I am worried by this fitness concerns of our strikers with Son and Girassi not fit. Diaby also struggling. We might need to dip into our reserves. Problem is, most of them are actually out on loan. Yeah, if we had the option... I'd say, I mean, we don't even have the option at all, do we? I was going to say, I can't remember his name. He's the striker who's, I think he's at Burnley this season now. Scored loads in League One last year. Can Kadir play up front? I think we're putting you into the first team, mate, because you might get yourself a chance on the wing. Just looking at the under-18s as well. Have we got anyone with half-decent potential? Andrew Hunt, he's not got it, has he? What about Tommy Day? Tommy Day is worse than Andrew Hunt. Ewan Simpson's a real man out on loan at Wickham. He's in the under-18s at 19 years old. I think, buddy, we're going to bump you up into the under-21s. Match number 2 of the episode then is actually up against Slavia Prague because international breaks. I don't know what the problem was, but we had a match against, I want to say Newcastle, I'm not sure. It was the second match planned anyway for this episode. We had 9 players away on international duty, so they asked us if we wanted to rearrange it. So we did, which means we're now playing Slavia Prague and Man United straight after this. We've still got, by the way, if we scroll all the way down, Girassi, he's still away on international duty anyway. He's expected back after Christmas. Is the African Cup of Nations going on at a weird time of year? It's normally January, right? We've got no strikers at all. Which is why we're playing Diaby up front for this. It's going to be Castiles, Galton, Boyomo, Mings and Luca Dean in defence. That's kind of our settled defence now, which actually, because this is the cup game, we're going to do that. We're going to play Kumbulla instead of Boyomo. We've got Douglas, Luis Kamara, Sanket midfield, Bargi, Ramsey and Diaby on this one, playing as our front 3. Do we do that? I want to do that. I'm going to play Tommy Doyle. He's going to get his debut in the Champions League. It's probably a bad idea. 3 players are getting squad numbers, including Thomas Day, who we looked at earlier. So we have so many problems going on with our squad, with registrations for the Champions League, injuries, international duty, all that kind of stuff, which means we do have to play. I think we've got like 6 youngsters on the subs bench, which is just arguably too many, isn't it? When you look at it, Proctor's a child, Day's a child, who else? Borland, Bentley and Brogio, all children as well. So 5 kids on the bench in a Champions League match away from home. But I'm still relatively confident that we should be good enough to win this one. We are currently top of the table alongside Barcelona because we've won absolutely everything at the moment. Although, if you do remember, we have to play, I think, Man City as our last group game, which I think they get gradually harder as the Champions League goes on for us. Half an hour played in this match here against Slavia Prague, and we've had no highlights. There's been 2 shots, apparently, that have both been absolutely garbage, apparently, according to the XG. We've got a free kick, and I'm not sure who Luca Dean's waving at in the crowd. He's waving at somebody, he's telling them to run down the line. Are we going to take this free kick? What are we doing? Luca Dean's waving his arms around again. Buddy, there you go, he's woken up. Here he goes then, left-footed from the left-hand side, crosses it towards Connor Goldson at the back post, and Connor Goldson has got his second goal of the season. It's 1-0 against Slavia Prague. 5 minutes left to play in the first half. Connor Goldson, I'm genuinely happy at how well he's played for us over the last 3 years. He's actually not awful. I don't think that's a compliment, calling somebody not awful, but there we are. Luca Dean collects it. Goldson, the goal scorer. Towards Rooney, back to Douglas Luiz from Kamara, over the top towards Rooney. He's not going to get there. Maybe he is, because Oscar's header was awful. Rooney on the ground. Kamara collects it. Rooney again. Back to Kamara. Crosses it in. Ramsey's there at the back post. And Jacob Ramsey makes it 2-0 just 3 minutes after the Goldson opener. And that takes us into half-time then. I mean, things are going well. You're capable of better. It didn't do anything. It didn't fire anybody up at all. It does mean that because we've now got this 2-goal lead, Rooney, I think we're going to take off at some point because he's not fully match fit. Luke Dean as well looks like he's either taking a knock or he's just running around a lot, so we'll probably bring you off as well for Aït-Nouri. We've got ourselves a throw through Connor Goldson. Kamara back to Goldson. Forward to Diaby. I'm sure he was offside. Ramsey's there, tucks the ball away, but I'm pretty sure this isn't going to count because I'm thinking Diaby was offside. Bit of VAR going on. Goal is disallowed. There we go. So it remains 2-0, but we're playing well. We're actually playing pretty good, I think. Looks like we're not really letting Slavia Prague do a huge amount. Then again, we're not doing a huge amount either. Kumbula with the ball. Where's he going to go? On the ground. Diaby collects it. Across to Tommy Doyle. First time we've seen him. Ramsey through ball towards Kamara. Kamara's first time shot would have been good if it went in the top corner. Instead it goes wide. Right, let's get some changes going on. Luca Dean's coming off. We don't have Aït-Nouri. Is he on international duty as well? Or is he just not registered? Why is Aït-Nouri not there? I mean, we're going to play a guy called Samuel Bentley, who's at 6'2", arguably not a left back, but we're doing it anyway. There we go. Sam Bentley, welcome onto the pitch, mate. Make your debut. Debut. That's what it's called. What else do we want to do? Rooney's going to come off as well. We're going to do... Why not? We're 2-0 up. Ben Brogio is going to come on as well, make his Champions League debut. In fact, make his Aston Villa debut. Number 75. He doesn't look awful either. I'm now just looking at all the kids. Borland looks good. Borland can probably do a job. You know what? On you get, mate. 3 children coming off the subs bench after 61 minutes. Now, if I was a Slavia Prague manager, I'd be taking that as an insult, which it kind of is. Into the final 10 minutes of the match, then nothing's really happened in the second half. Bentley heads the ball across to nobody. To be fair, he's like 16, isn't he? Borland collects it. Now Ramsey. Borland's carrying on his run. Douglas Luiz doesn't quite get there. And it looks like Slavia Prague coming forward. Oscar off towards the left-hand side. His effort's not good. Neither is our defending. I'm blaming Castells for that. It's blaming Bentley, which arguably, yes, it is Bentley's fault, but Bentley shouldn't have ever been in that position in the first place. Why didn't Castells do anything there? Also, it's not Bentley's fault, it's Kumbula's fault because he kicked it into him. If my playing of youngsters is going to cause us to draw this game, I'm not going to be happy. We've got a couple of minutes left. We're going to do some more changes. Thomas Day's going to come on up front. Why not? Let's complete the set. We saw him earlier. He's not very good. And that's all the kids. We're not going to do Proctor. Are we going to? We're not, are we? No. The final change as well we're going to do is Gravenberch coming on for Kamara. Another child, another youngster. He's 23. He's also not even our player, so I don't really care too much. We've hit the 90 minutes. There we are. Borland's ball forward is not good. Ramsey tried to chase it down, but got absolutely nowhere near it. It is Kolar in goal for Prague. Over the halfway line with a big kick. Fila heads down to Oscar. Brogio collects it though. Good bit of football from the youngster there. That's what we like to see. Connor Goldson play it across to Kumbula, who, to be honest, he's on a 7. I don't think he's played particularly well. Thomas Day back to Mings. Left-hand side is Bentley. Here he is with his yellow card. Ball dead at 16. That's a brave look, mate. Bentley's going down the line. Why has he got a ball dead? Ramsey on the ground towards Tommy Day. Tommy Day could have scored. Borland tries to get on the end of it as well. Doesn't manage it. We are 2 minutes left to play of injury time. It is Slavia Prague coming forward with the ball. This is a bit concerning because since we've done all of our changes, we've not been particularly good, have we? It is Prague still passing it around on the ground, forward. Plays it through over the top to Provod. Connor Goldson's there with him every step of the way. Hits Goldson. And Casteels manages to get a little palm onto that one by the looks of it. It's still alive. And Casteels once again blocks the shot. We're going to see the corner as well. Have they brought the keeper up? Arguably, you probably should in this situation, right? Because it's the Champions League. And this is a point. There is a point available here. It is Provod collects it from the clearance. It's taken a deflection. Mings gets it off for a throw. Surely we are there now. We've got a minute left to play of injury time. It is all Slavia Prague, though. The last couple of highlights have just been all Slavia Prague coming forward. Ramsey sticks a leg out, gets there first, but it's still going. Kumbala, the big Albanian, heads clear. Oscar collects to keep this one alive, though. On the ground to Sevcic. Probably not his name. Oscar keeps it down the line, crosses it in. Tyrone Mings gets head first. Somebody was offside, it doesn't matter. And the full-time whistle was going to go. We made it look harder than it arguably was, didn't we? Let's be honest. The subs might have changed the game for the worse. Bentley gets the 6-5. Borland gets the 6-5. Brojo gets the 6-6. Didn't really see him. Day and Gravenberch weren't on the pitch long enough, apparently. Although Thomas Day probably should have scored. I know he's not at the club and all, but Connor Bateman, who's on loan at Wigan, that's another injury. He's broken his toe, so he's out for potentially 4 weeks. How have we not qualified yet? We've picked up 2.4 million. Loads of people making their debuts as well, which is questionable. I mean, it was Bentley, wasn't it? Bentley's 16 years old. He looks like he's got one of those old horseshoe haircuts at 16. It's brave, mate. It's very brave. The third and final match then of the episode is at Old Trafford against Man United, and I am not confident with this one. It's going to be Casteels in goal, Goldson, Boyomo, Mings and Luke Dean in defence, Louise, Kamara and Sanka in midfield, Bargi, Ramsey and Diaby leading the lines. We kind of can't really do a huge amount else. When you look at our subs bench, we don't have a huge amount of options right now. I guess, McGinn's obviously pretty good, but he's not played for ages. His sharpness is pretty low. Conter as well, sharpness is pretty low. This is as good as we've got at the moment. The good news is, obviously, because this is the league game, we've kind of got a bit more options when it comes to players that are registered. Man United still with Erik ten Hag, but also losing 4 out of 5 and the last 4 in a row. They did just lose 2-1 against Inter Milan in the Champions League, and a team that we've beaten, by the way. Anthony with a free kick early on. Luca Dean collects for us. Ramsey, no real option other than to go backwards. Mings with it, goes for a little wander. We are 3 minutes in. Sanket down the line to find Ramsey. Is he going to go for a run? Gets past 1, gets past 2, plays it back to Luca Dean. Ramsey continues his run, tries to get some space for himself and does so. And Montero with the save. That was majestic. That's what we're going to call it. Majestic football from Ramsey. It's going to be a corner for Dougie Luiz. Where's it going to go? We've got number 41 in the middle. I don't know who 41 is. Rooney's ball control is awful. I can't believe that was a highlight from a corner. Literally, all we did was just lose the ball. Connor Goldson with a throw. We are looking very good at the moment, aren't we? On the ground to Diaby. Rooney collects it in the middle, plays it across to Sanket, and Sanket makes it 1-0, his 11th goal of the season. Are we going to make it 5 defeats in a row for Man United? Still not even 20 minutes in. Martinez with the ball. Where are you going to go? All the way back to Montero. Montero plays it on the ground. Casemiro, who seems to be playing maybe as a centre-back? I'm not quite sure if he is. Wan-Bissaka to Oscar. Does manage to find Rashford as well. Rashford's 1-on-1 with the keeper. Casteels drops down too low. And it is 1-1. Looks like from the match rating perspective, Casteels has taken the blame for that one. He's gone to a 6.4. I did think that he kind of dived way too early. He gave away what he was going to do. Final 5 minutes of the first half. And a 1-1 draw at half-time on paper isn't too bad. I probably would have taken it before the match. But I think we've been the much better team at the moment. So I think this match is there for the winning. No changes for us at half-time. I am looking at Kamara on a 6.5. I'm looking at Ramsey as well, just because he's very tired. Diaby's just dropped to a 6.5 as well. Boyomo's on a 6.4, but he's fully fit. I assume he's on a 6.4 because he just literally stood perfectly still for 45 minutes. Martinez with the ball for United. Casemiro towards Rashford. Goes for a little wander. Casemiro gets the ball back. Left-hand side is Kingsley Coman wearing a Man United shirt, apparently. All the way back to Montero. Put some pressure on him. Anybody? Nobody was near him at all. Varane to Wan-Bissaka. He's going to go for a run through the centre circle. Left-hand side is Coman. Back to Malacia. Coman collects it again. United suddenly looking pretty good in the second half. Coman's cross comes in. Casteels needs to get there and does come out to claim that. So what's the highlight? Because that wasn't it. Luca Dean gets the ball from the throw from Casteels. Ramsey Where are you going to go? For a little wander. Dougie Luiz over the top towards Kamara. Flicks the head on towards Diaby. First time shot from Musa Diaby into the bottom corner. No one's offside there. Nobody's offside. We're going to get VAR. The goal has been awarded. And we retake the lead at Old Trafford. Luca Dean with the throw. Where are we going to go then? Are we going to make it 3-1? Is this actually going to be a highlight of ours? Kamara needs to wake up and actually run towards the ball, not just expect it to come towards him. The effort from, I think, Kingsley Coman goes just wide. Right, we probably want to look at doing some subs. Ramsey needs to come off through fitness more than anything else. Why do they assume Ezri Konsa should play in every position? I'm not quite sure. Who's even suggesting this? My assistant manager? I don't trust him. We're going to do a Moa Mayor coming on. Although Leon Bailey could probably be the better option, we're going to go a Moa Mayor. We're also going to do a little bit of a change there. That makes sense. Kramaski. I like Kramaski. We brought him, obviously, so I kind of want to play him. He can be the box-to-box, I think. Free kick for United. This isn't good. Rashford towards the back post where Rafael Varane is there. Unmarked-ish header straight over the bar, though. Casteels doesn't have too much to worry about. Looking at that match momentum graph, we are looking very good. Why can't we pass? I mean, it was a Moa Mayor, so we can't blame him too much because he's only like 19. Kingsley Coman kicks it straight into Boyomo. Now the centre-back can go for a run down the right-hand side, which I'm okay with. Plays it across to Sanket. Moa Mayor goes for goal. Almost curls it into the back of the net, but it goes just wide from the Southampton loanee. It is weird that we are pushing for Europe, for Champions League, in fact, in the Champions League, and we've loaned somebody from Southampton. It's weird, okay? It's weird. It doesn't really matter. Tyrone Mings with the ball back to Casteels. Final 15. Boyomo to Connor Goldson. Down the line, please. Does find Rooney. Not really seen a lot of Rooney, although he's on an 8.6. Rooney goes the other way to Kamara in the middle, all the way back to Casteels. I don't like the fact that Casteels is well outside his area. Boyomo, you're going to go for another run? You've got the energy, apparently. You do no running for most of the match until like one opportunity where you just sprint down the right-hand side. Moa Mayor gets past his man, stops and spins. Luca Dean to Kamara to Sanket, and Sanket goes for a shot from a very strange angle. I don't know why he bothered. And it goes wide. We've got a free kick. Luca Dean takes it. He's gone for goal and hit the post. What's gone on there? Scalvini can clear it to Anthony. I assume that was the highlight. Final couple of minutes. We have more subs to do and we're going to use them. So we're going to do Alcaraz coming on up front. We are also going to do Rooney coming off for John McGinn. Why not? I want to get rid of Leon Bailey, by the way. That's why we're not bringing him on. Luca Dean as well for Konsa. And then we do that. Sure. Final 5 minutes. This could be a massive 3 points for our season. 6 minutes of injury time, though. I don't know what that's for. Looking at fitness, it must be the problem for United. They've got a corner. They've sent the keeper up. Scalvini's there. We need to get this. Varane gets it across to Anthony. Tries to cross it and actually wanders past a couple of players. And Anthony's going to score, isn't he? Mason Mount's bloody scored. How have we done this? How have we thrown this away? The fact that their keeper was up as well for that corner kind of filled me with a little bit of hope that we were going to break. Casteels gets a 6.2. A 6.2, mate. Are you getting blamed for both of their goals? I feel like you are. So my team talk made everybody happy. I am going to say to Casteels that your mistake did cost us. I mean, on paper, that's not bad, is it? A 2-2 draw, although we should have won it. We took the lead twice. We are 8th place in the table after 12 matches. Next time you join us, we will be going all the way till the end of January. I think we did this last season as well, so we're going to do all of December, all of January. We have a new player joining us on the 1st of January for, I'm going to say it now, too much money. It's silly money, but he's very good. It's a new striker. We have no more transfer budget because we've basically spent it all on him, but he's going to be joining on the 1st of January. We're going to come back for probably oh my word, that February's awful. That's not a fun month. We're going to come back, probably play Everton, Liverpool, maybe Man City in the next one. Thank you very much for watching this one. If you did enjoy, like, subscribe, all the fun, fancy YouTubey stuff, and I'll be back next time. So December and January have been and gone. The window has opened and closed, and we have been very busy. Not when it comes to transfers. Well, a little bit when it comes to transfers. We played, I think, 8 matches in January. But before we get to that, we do need to talk about transfers because there will be spoilers when we look at the fixtures. Flavian Enzo Boyomo has left, moving over to get that big Saudi bag. £775,000 a week is insane. He has gone for £52 million, potentially going up to £59 million. I think that's good money. We've replaced him anyway, it's fine. We've also sold Leon Bailey for £60 million. He's also gone over to Saudi Arabia. I was hoping to get a little bit more because there was a bidding war between Al Ittihad and Al Ahly, maybe another team in Saudi Arabia, basically. Another team with silly money. Al Ittihad were the only team that bid 60. So off he goes. That's a fair chunk of money. That is actually £110 million to spend, which we have. We've probably spent more than that. For £32.5 million, we have gone back to Manchester City and we brought in Callum Doyle. He's no relation to Tommy, apparently, but Callum Doyle is very good. He's also cost a lot of money. He's probably going to play a fair amount of times for us. He's already played a couple of times already. Yes, he's not perfect. He's still got some room to grow, but he's also got a lot of time to grow. He is only 22. And key part for me, he's English. For £40 million, we've signed a world-class midfielder. I wasn't even planning on doing this. He was out of contract at the end of the season. And I went, you know what, he'll be a great player to bring in. And then my brain went, you're not playing Season 4 on camera, so it doesn't really matter, does it? And then I went, actually, let's get him in anyway, and let's just buy him out of his contract. It did cost 40 million, which was probably too much money, but Milinkovic-Savic, at 30, he's just about to turn 31, has still got easily a good 2 or 3 years left in him, probably at this level as well. And the big one is Victor Gyökeres. I have no idea if that's how it's said at all. I'm not going to tell you how much we paid for him just yet, because it's too much. If I'm honest, it's too much. He's superb though, isn't he? He's very, very good. We brought him in obviously from Sporting. He scored 46 goals in 73 games for Sporting in this Football Manager save. He's not been there before until this save started. Obviously, previously at Coventry, spent time at Swansea and Brighton as well. He's had a strange career, Gyökeres, and all of a sudden the last couple of years, he's turned into a very, very good striker, which is why we've paid £80 million for him. Oh, it gets better. It's actually £95 million because some of those are kind of performance-based, which he will almost certainly do. I think one of them's after he scored 10 goals for the club. But that was basically it for January. We didn't really do a massive amount of business. We've also loaned out some people. So Toplovic going out on loan, Bobby Clark going out on loan to Reading, Kumbula going out on loan to Levante, and Alcaraz going out on loan to Freiburg. Those two deals will potentially be made permanent. We just weren't playing either of them. Alcaraz, I'm going to take the L on that one. He wasn't very good, was he? Although, he did score against his former team, Southampton, to give us 3 points. Anyway, since we were last here, we've gone undefeated in all competitions, bar one match, but that was the Carabao Cup semi-final, which we won anyway. You can see big wins there against Man City. I don't know how that happened. We beat Bournemouth 2-0, obviously Southampton 2-0, Wolves, we beat them 3-1. Lots and lots of goals. I might have gone full strength against Birmingham. Didn't really plan it. Absolutely smashed them 7-1. Son Heung-min scoring some goals. Guess what? He's injured again. Yep, he's useless. He's just constantly injured. Gyökeres, as we know, getting some goals already. When you think this Brentford game here shows how powerful our strike force is with Son, Gyökeres and Gerassi all on the pitch potentially at the same time, that is frightening. But with those results, we are up into 4th place in the table. We are 6 points behind league leaders Liverpool currently. We are, 4 points behind Chelsea, just 1 point behind Man City with a game in hand, which is this match against Newcastle, which means if we win, we'll move up into 3rd place, just 1 point behind 2nd. And I did mention it earlier, we are also in the Carabao Cup final against Spurs. And annoyingly, I would have much preferred to play who Spurs beat in the semi-final, because you'll never guess who it was. It was League 2 Stockport. League 2 Stockport County got to the League Cup semi-final. And they didn't really embarrass themselves too much when you think about it. Yes, they did lose 7-1 on aggregate, so they lost the home leg 4-0, the away leg 3-1. But they got to the semi-finals. They knocked out Bolton from League 1. I mean, did they just get a really simple run through? They may well have done. They beat Reading from League 1. Who else did they beat? Where are Stockport? They beat Southampton on penalties, which as a Saints fan, sounds pretty accurate to me. Obviously, they would have come in at the first round as well. They beat Wrexham, and then in the first round, can we see them? There they are. They beat Sutton as well. I'm assuming that's it, yeah. So they've done well. Fair play to Stockport. You've done yourself proud. How are you doing in the league? You're winning the league as well. I think you're just good. I think you're not a League 1, a League 2 side, are you? Match number 1 then of the episode is going to be at home against Newcastle. A match that I think we were supposed to play in the last episode, but it got rearranged because of international fixtures. It's going to be Lucas Perry in goal. Connor Bateman will be our right back today. He has returned from his loan spell at Wigan. And basically, I'm going to get him some game time because I think he's going to be good. Konsa, Querfeld and Luke Dean in defence. Querfeld has returned from his loan spell at Atletico Madrid because I could recall him and thought, that's a good idea considering we've just sold a couple of central defenders. and we kind of need to replace them. Gravenberch gets a rare start today with Milenkovic-Savic getting his debut. Kremaski also playing in the midfield with Diaby, Ramsey and Jurassi leading the lines. You might think that's a weird starting 11, and you'd be right. Sanket, too tired. Gyökeres too tired. Douglas Luiz is tired. Rooney is tired. Kamara is tired. Basically, what I'm trying to say is we're all quite tired. Because of signing Milenkovic-Savic, I genuinely think we're a bit overloaded in central midfield with Milenkovic-Savic. We've obviously got Sanket as well. We've got Kamara. We've got Luiz. We've got 4 very good central midfielders that can kind of all play in any of those 3 positions. On the wings as well, we are pretty stacked. We've got Diaby, we've got Ramsey, we've got Rooney. I think we've built a good squad. Defensively, we are lacking, shall we say. Diaby goes for goal, takes a deflection. Costa does well to actually dive the right way and stop it from going in. Luka Dean steps up to take the corner, their left-footed corner towards Sergei Milenkovic-Savic, and it goes just over the bar for a goal kick. I'd be very happy if Milenkovic-Savic gets a goal on his debut. He's already on a 7.0. We are playing well as well by the looks of it, getting, I think, 5 shots away, 3 on target. Manuel Akanji goes for a little run with the ball. Is it Manuel Akanji? I don't know. Have I just made that up? It's back to Costa. Now it is Hilgers. Julian Nagelsmann, by the way, is the Newcastle boss, and he likes me for some reason. Don't know why. Hilgers, ball forward to Gomares. It's saved well by Perry. I also have no idea how to say his name, so we might just call him Bruno from now on. It's going to be a corner for Minty. It's definitely not how it's pronounced. Minty steps up, takes the corner. Lucas Perry comes out, claims it. I'm glad nothing came of that because I ballsed it all up. Luka Dean to Kremaski. Back to Querfeld on a yellow card. Gravenberch collects it. Forward to Milenkovic-Savic, on the ground to Diaby, who had lots of interest, and by interest, bids from Manchester City, and I rejected them, and he wasn't too happy with it. It's fallen for Ramsey, his control's not the best. Costa can clear the ball from the little Livramento pass back. Konsa also making a rare start today. Bateman to Querfeld, going for a run. Kremaski's pass is odd. Ramsey keeps it in play. Luka Dean to Kremaski, back to Ramsey. This is beautiful football. Ramsey tries to get some space for himself. Back to Milenkovic-Savic, through to Diaby, tucks the ball away. I don't know what's just happened there. Because that, in the words of Ruud Gullit, that was sexy football. Problem is, I feel like it's not going to count. So there we are. It's currently 1-0. It is remaining 1-0. It has counted. That was just pass after pass after pass. Ramsey does a little run past a couple of players across to Milenkovic-Savic. That ball from Milenkovic-Savic is worth £40 million alone. Probably not 40 million, but still. Final 10 minutes of the first half. We've got a free kick in a good place. It's going to be Luka Dean stepping up. Luka Dean, by the way, is leaving at the end of the season on a free transfer. He's off to Fenerbahce. Ramsey to Konsa, and Esri Konsa's effort almost goes in. Arguably for a centre-back, it's not who you want to be there with the ball. Well, it's been a bright first half of football for us. We've only got the 1 goal to show for it, but we are looking very, very good. I like how we've dominated possession, apparently is what I decided to say to them. Have we dominated possession? Yeah, I guess we have. Right, it's about this time where I start looking at fitness. Diaby is kind of struggling. Kremaski to Gravenberch, back to Dean, back to Kremaski. Sergei Milenkovic-Savic in the middle, loses out to Konate. Thought maybe something special might have just happened there, but nope, he lost the ball. Konsa's going to hopefully keep this one alive for us. Where are you going to go, Esri? Ball on the ground to Connor Bateman, the youngster to Gravenberch, the Liverpool loanee. Jurassi, first time you've seen him all match. Kremaski is in on goal, dinks it over the goalkeeper, his 2nd goal of the season, and the young American doubles our lead. And I think with that, it's time for a couple of changes. Rooney's the only right winger we've got. I don't want to bring him on. I really don't want to. Do we bring on Sanket on the right? I mean, it's not really a good idea. Maybe we do that, actually. Yeah, there you go. Kremeski can play on the right-hand side. That'll do for now. Just the one change. We are keeping Newcastle very, very quiet. For a team that are currently sat 6th in the table, they've had like 2 shots, which is ridiculous. Smith Rowe back to Hilgers. Bruno to Campos, back towards Hilgers. Where is he going to go? In the middle, Bruno collects it again. Smith Rowe's ball forward, finds Konate, and it puts it in the bottom corner. Lucas Perry can't do much about that. I feel like this one's going to count. They're going to check for offside. I don't think he was. Or maybe he was offside. Fair enough. It is still 2-0. We are seeing the free kick as well as a highlight. Luka Dean to Sanket to Ramsey on the left-hand side. Luka Dean needs to really get forward. He's not going to bother, though, because Ramsey doesn't need any help. Where are you going to go? On the ground to Sanket. The substitute takes the touch, blasts it past Costa, and we make it 3-0. Against a Newcastle side, by the way, who have billions of pounds in the bank. They're ridiculously good, and we are dominating them with arguably our 2nd string 11 as well. Corner for Newcastle from the right-hand side. Sanket clears it. Konsa does another little flicked head on, only as far as Coop Miners though, so it's coming straight back towards us. On the right-hand side, Tadibo across to Leo Ostergaard. Back to Tadibo. I feel like they've just changed their entire defence, haven't they? Tadibo and Ostergaard were not playing earlier. Neither was Coop Miners, unless they've just done nothing. Ezri Konsa gets in the way, nicks that ball back to the Brazilian goalkeeper. Koerfeld, where are you going to go? Back to Lucas Perry again. We've got about 15 minutes. Luca Dean controls well. Down the line, is he going to go for a run? No. Passes to Sanket. I want to see something from Gerassi. He's on a 7.7, but we've seen him touch the ball like twice. Ezri Konsa, where are you going to go, mate? Connor Bateman, forward to Savic. Back to Bateman. On the ground, Kramaski to Gerassi. We've got another runner in. It's Sanket. Is he going to get his second of the game? He does get his second of the game. It is 4-0 against Newcastle United. And we've still got 15 minutes to go. Right, time for some more changes, and Luke Dean's coming off. Ait-Nouri is going to come on. We've not seen a lot of Ait-Nouri at the moment, but obviously next season he would be our number one if we were to play it. Ramsey's going to come off as well for Gyökeres, who's going to play on that left-hand side, because apparently he can do it as a Ramdeuter. I'm just going to play him on that as an inside forward on attack. I think that's probably okay. Do we want to do anything else? Looking at the players we've got as an option, I feel like no. Kramaski probably needs to come off, but then again, he is our kind of third choice central midfielder. He's one of the lesser used players, so I'm not too fussed if he gets absolutely shattered. One more goal would be lovely. Let's finish this as a 5-0 win against Newcastle. Bateman down to Milinkovic-Savic. Goes backwards to Ezri Konsa. Two central defenders, the only people not really putting in a performance, and arguably it's because they don't need to. Gerassi over the top finds Gyökeres on that left-hand side. Definitely going to butcher his name almost every time I try and say it. Ait-Nouri to Milinkovic-Savic. It almost finds the bottom corner. He is begging for a goal on his debut. He's on a 7.8. That could be the best signing I've ever made. Yes, we've only played one match. The full-time whistle goes then. It is 4-0 against Newcastle. Gerassi finishes with the Man of the Match award because he got 2 assists. That's why his rating was so high. 2 assists for Gerassi. Sanket with 2 goals as well. Milinkovic-Savic getting an assist on his debut. That was ridiculous. So ridiculous, in fact, that we do move up to 3rd place in the league. We're going to have just one more match in today's episode, which, if we take a look, is going to be against Everton. I think we were going to do Everton and Liverpool was the plan, but fixture rearranging and all that jazz means it's going to be Everton, once again at Villa Park. Look at our recent form, by the way. Our recent form has been exceptional. Our last defeat in the league was back in November, which, was that on camera? That was on camera as well, wasn't it? That's mad. Right then, let's play Everton then. Obviously still at Villa Park. It is going to be Lucas Perry in goal. Goldson, Konsa, Doyle and Ait-Nouri in defence. This isn't Callum Doyle's debut, by the way. He did play for us a couple of times off camera. I say off camera. It was off camera. It was before we actually, started this episode. It's going to be Douglas Luiz, Milinkovic-Savic and Sanket in midfield with Diaby, Ramsey and Gyökeres up front. You'll notice Victor's unhappy because I said I'd buy defenders. I did. Apparently he's not good enough, Callum Doyle. I also brought back Koerfeld from his loan spell, which apparently doesn't count as me strengthening the defence. If I was to do a Season 4, literally my summer transfer targets would be a world-class centre-back or 2, or probably a right-back. Maybe this is the problem. He's getting annoyed with Connor Goldson, which is understandable. Should we play Harwood Bellis? Why not? So obviously, form-wise, we are very, very good. How are Everton doing? I don't even know. All I know is where we are in the table and who's kind of roughly in and around our area. They are on 4 wins out of 4 in a row. Obviously, the 5th one there was a defeat, but they are down in 11th. They're playing very well, unless maybe some of those are cup games. Because we've obviously had a lot of cup games in January. They might also be cup games, which is why they're winning them, because they're playing teams like, I don't know, Colchester. They've got a free kick in a good position. Who's stepping up? I don't know what that dance is, mate. Number 15. I don't know what you're doing. Also, the 2 players on the left-hand side of the wall, just pass to one of them, if I was you, Kamada, because they're completely unmarked. Nobody's near them. There you go. It's Jared Branthwaite hits it wide. Of all the players in that position, he was not the one. As things stand, we move up to 2nd place because Man United are beating Chelsea and we have a superior goal difference. What is happening? What is actually going on? Leeds and Liverpool are drawing 1-1, so we want Leeds to win that. I don't think a title charge is potentially going to happen, but there is a minor thing in the back of my head saying, it could, couldn't it? If Liverpool lose and we win, we'll go on to 54 points, And Liverpool will also be on 54 points and we'd be joint at the top of the table. Gullikson loses out to Harwood Bellis. Ezri Konsa, where are you going to go? Across to Doyle. I've just realised we've got 3 English defenders and then Ike Nori on the left-hand side. It's forward to Ramsey. Ike Nori's carried on his run. Back to Douglas Luiz. Long ball forward maybe. Number 24 could do with that. There you go. It is Milinkovic-Savic. Ball to Sanket. Collects it well. Gyökeres isn't even needed. Sanket's gone in on goal. Tucks it into the bottom corner. His 17th goal of the season is ridiculous. I don't know what role I'm playing him as. Is it a Mazzala? I think it's a Mazzala on attack, but he's getting goals for fun. Baldanzi's corner comes in. Branthwaite is there. It is blocked, I think, on the line by Gyökeres and then cleared. We are literally 1 point behind Liverpool at half-time. We're not doing particularly well. I'm going to say, if we don't shoot, we're not going to score. That'll do. We're not doing particularly well, but we obviously have that goal. We've had only 2 shots, but both of them were on target. Neither of them were very good. It's only the fact that Sanket is ridiculous at scoring goals at the moment that we are in front. Beto back to Patterson on the right-hand side. Number 2 gets past Ramsey. Dominic Calvert-Lewin still playing for Everton. And Tobias Gullikson blasts the ball past Lucas Perry. It's 1-1. So it looks like struggling to perform is Ramsey and Gyökeres up front. Everyone else is doing okay. Ike Nor and Douglas Luiz on 6-6s isn't amazing, is it? But let's be honest, I feel like they're doing okay defensively because Everton are getting their shots away. They're just not scoring. Let's do a couple of changes. Rooney coming on. It is going to be Girassi also coming on as well. So 2 subs after 62 minutes and 20 seconds. Harwood Bellis with a throw in a very advanced position. Milinkovic-Savic crosses the ball in towards Sanket. It's actually towards nobody. Rooney's going to collect it. Playing on the left, obviously, coming off the bench. Plays it back to Callum Doyle, the former Man City man. Diaby on the right-hand side. We've got 4 possible options in the box. Back to Harwood Bellis. Ezri Konsa. We're going to go over the top. I feel like there's a ball coming over the top of the defence very soon. Douglas Luiz to Doyle. What are we doing? We're just passing it around the defence at the moment. Rooney collects it on the left-hand side. Needs to probably cut inside because I think he is right-footed rather than left-footed. Douglas Luiz back to Konsa. Slow build highlight. So I feel like there might be a goal coming. Diaby going away from goal again. Harwood Bellis. Cross to Konsa. Not really breaking through the 63 Everton players, apparently. Douglas Luiz to Rooney. That's the ball I was expecting to happen. Plays it across. Girassi's in the middle. His 17th goal of the season makes it 2-1. A very, very slow build highlight. But Rooney and Girassi, the 2 players at the end, the 2 subs as well, making the difference, putting us back in front. I feel like we're only really winning this because Everton are playing defensively badly. I say defensively, even going forward, actually. Everton are just not playing very well. We're not playing well either. I say that when you look at our ratings. We're not playing particularly well because we've only scored twice. Right, we need to do some changes. Milinkovic-Savic is injured. Amazing. Just what we want. Kamara's going to come on then as the box-to-box. We're going to do Ike Nori off. We're going to do Douglas Luiz off as well. Don't know why we brought on Gravenberch. We just have. Obviously, there's only... I changed that. I just did all these changes. So it did the Ike Nori change, but didn't do the other ones. Oh, okay, weird. I am now a bit worried as to what that Milinkovic-Savic injury is going to be, because we've been really unlucky with injuries lately. We've also been really unlucky with last-minute goals. Seriously? What has happened? In the 98th minute, they've scored. In the 98th minute, they've equalised against us. They've not I say they've not deserved it. They probably have. They've played well. But what have we done to throw that away again? So instead of actually being sort of 1 point off the top of the table, we are now 5 points off the top of the table because Liverpool did win their game. Some injuries to talk about. Kellyman's out for 8 to 9 weeks. Amazing. Don't be a bad one. It's 4 to 5 weeks. You've twisted your ankle, mate. Our injuries are ridiculous. We've got Casteels with a broken finger. Son Heung-min is out. By the way, I think I mentioned this earlier, but we'll just kind of confirm. Son Heung-min this season has missed 2 weeks, 4 days, another 4 weeks. So he's on, 6.5 weeks. Let's bump it up to 7. Let's bump it up to 8, 9, 10, 11 weeks. He's missed 11 weeks through injury. And potentially another 7 on top of that as well. I don't know what's happened to him, but he's made out of glass. This is also not a good bit of news. Let's be honest, is it? This is not a good bit of news. 14 unbeaten. Yes, but we keep drawing games at the moment. We have drawn in the last 14. I assume this is league games, to be honest, so maybe it's not so bad. We've drawn 4 in there, which, okay, it's not awful, is it? Let's be honest, but still, A last-minute equaliser there. Where else did we have a last-minute equaliser? I think it was last episode, wasn't it? So it would have been somewhere. Where was it? I don't even remember. It was there, wasn't it? It was Mason Mount against Man United. Another last-minute equaliser for another 2-2 draw. It's kind of getting annoying, isn't it? Right, we're going to end that episode there. Next episode, it's going to be the Carabao Cup final. And I don't know. I feel like we're not even going to go far next episode, are we? Next episode, we're just going to go straight into it. Just going to be those 3. Next episode, expect to see 3 defeats. Today, we are hopefully going to be winning the Carabao Cup, as we will be playing Tottenham. But that is not until the final game of the episode. Before then, we've got 2 matches against first and second. We're going to kick off with the match against Man City, and then we're going to head over to Anfield to play the Liverpool game. We've not got a very easy February, and so far we started off really well. Obviously, last episode we won 4-0 against Newcastle, and then a 2-2 draw with a 98th minute equaliser from Everton in that one. Kind of frustrating. Let's play Man City. We've got some injuries as well, which is not ideal. But, by the looks of it, I mean, they're missing Foden. They're not missing many players, are they? The starting lineup then will be Perry in goal, Bateman, Konsa, Doyle and Aït-Nouri in defence. Doyle returning to his former team. Douglas Luiz, Kamara and Sanket in midfield. Diaby, Ramsey and Gyökeres leading the line. For this one, we've obviously got Girassi, he is back, but if we scroll down, you can see we're missing Castells, we're missing Milenkovic-Savic and we're missing Son. Obviously, if you watched last episode, you'd know that. So I'm weirdly optimistic here. Against Man City, we've actually beaten them. I'm pretty sure we beat them this season earlier on. So I'm optimistic. If we do actually win this game, we'll move into second place on merit. Actually, properly into second place. Although Chelsea possibly could catch us up goal difference-wise if they both play, well, once they hit their 26 games. Aït-Nouri with a throw for us. Just inside the City half. 15 minutes on the clock. Doyle to Konsa. He's going to go for a little wander. Connor Bateman, the youngster, arguably should not be playing. But we kind of need to start playing him. Sanket's in on goal here. Hold on. Sanket's effort is easily saved by Ederson. Should have scored, which would have been his, I think, 18th goal of the season, which is mad for a central midfielder. Dougie Luiz has gone over to take the resulting corner. We've got number 51 in the middle, which is Connor Bateman. Aït-Nouri is there as well. Gonna fall for Diaby. Back to Douglas Luiz. Crosses it in. Gyökeres is there. But fortunately for Man City, Ederson is also there. Highlight looks like it might carry on. Kayode on the right-hand side. A player that we wanted to sign in Season 1. And it turns out he's very good. I didn't even know this at the time. He just looked good. Jack Grealish with a free kick, 23rd minute. Towards, I assume, Ruben Diaz. It's cleared. Connor Bateman's closing it down, which is not really what you want your right back to be doing, closing down a left back, and somehow they've managed to score through Bernardo Silva. I'm not quite sure how that went in. His decision to come out was a rash one. Lucas Perry's taken the blame for it. What did he do? So Gvardiol has it obviously on the right-hand side, runs past, and then I don't think you can really blame Perry for that. What was his other options? I mean, I guess he could have stayed on his line. He's dropped to a 6.3. I think, annoyingly as well, that was Man City's first shot of the match. Not even just on target, their first shot of the entire match. Kayode's throw to Ruben Diaz. Rodrigo in the middle. Plays it all the way back. I said Rodrigo, it's Rodri. Why is his name Rodrigo in the match engine? I don't understand. Theo Hernandez on the left-hand side. Slow pass forward, finds Grealish. He can go for a run. Kovacic. Grealish has carried on his run. Is he going to go towards him? Instead, he's gone towards Haaland. He's gone for a header, and Lucas Perry is he's very lucky there. Why did he come off his line? Why did he come to try and claim that one? Half-time, it is 1-0 to Man City. They are looking the better side, although we're not looking too bad, really. It's only Perry. I don't know what I've said there. I have just told Perry that I'm unhappy, and he made a costly mistake today. So, hopefully, second half, he turns into a much better footballer. Gyökeres is looking anxious, not playing so well. You've got the ability to make the difference. It didn't do anything. Second half, very little has gone on at the moment. We've already made it to the hour mark. I think City have done a couple of substitutions, but we've had absolutely no highlights. We are playing badly. Our best performer is Konsa, and then Doyle, and then everyone else is on a 6-6 or a 6-5. Right, time for some changes. We're going to do Girassi coming on for Gyökeres because he's not doing anything. Sanket's coming off for Kramashki. I still don't know how to say his name. Bateman's going to come off as well for Tyrone Mings. Why did I not put Goldson on the bench? I think I'm going to go for Querfeld, although I think he's right-footed. He can probably play there, right? He can play as a right-back. I think we're also going to do Rooney coming on for Diaby as well. So 4 changes with 15 minutes to go. I'm hoping an equaliser would be great. I'd love a 1-1 draw. I'd take a 1-1 draw away from home against a team who we are battling with for the title at the moment somehow. I'd take a point. Douglas Luiz with a corner. Are we going to be the team to score a late goal? It's come in. It is the substitute, Leopold Querfeld. We have equalised in the 92nd minute against Man City, and we are shutting up shop. We're going to go defensive. Do we do a change of maybe bringing on another defender? I don't know. I don't even know really what options we've got. Obviously, we've got Mings that we can bring on. We take off Ramsey, and we do this? It's a weird thing to do. You've still got plenty of kind of space to run into. We've got no left winger. We're just going to run down the time, aren't we? The full-time whistle goes. I am very happy with a 1-1 draw. And finally, we're the team to score the late goal. That is an absolutely massive result. We are still in that fight for the title. We do have to play Liverpool next, although I imagine they are playing probably Saturday. We played on a Wednesday. Why do we play on a Wednesday? They're not playing. They're not playing until Saturday. So they could potentially go 10 points clear of us, or not 10 points, 7 points clear of us if they beat us, which isn't good. Right, let's go forward then to the Liverpool game, which is in a couple of days. So before we even kick off the Liverpool game, we've dropped down from 3rd to 4th because Chelsea have played and beaten Leeds 5-4. There's some stupidly high-scoring games going on. Man City also picking up 3 points as well against Brighton with a 91st minute winner for them, which is annoying. Wolves scoring in the 97th minute. Lots of late goals going on at the moment. So we need to make sure that we beat Liverpool if we want to kind of stay in touching distance, which I think is going to be a lot easier said than done. The starting lineup then, it's going to be Perry in goal, Goldson, Konsa, Doyle and Aït-Nouri, Kamara, Kamashi and Sanka in midfield, Rooney, Diaby and Gyökeres as our main strike threats for this one. I was tempted with Querfeld, but I feel like he's not as good, although he's as good as Konsa, isn't he? And he has just scored. We'll play Querfeld. I'm also tempted to do that because Gyökeres doesn't seem to play very well at the moment because he's unhappy that I didn't strengthen the defence, which is a completely understandable comment when we're still playing Connor Goldson. So in case you're wondering as well, we've obviously had to do a bit of rotation purely down to fitness. That Man City game has kind of wiped us out, and bear in mind, after this game, on, I assume, the following Sunday, we have to play the Carabao Cup final, and I think I'd rather win the Carabao Cup than finish 3rd in the league. It's a weird thing, but I feel like we've got much more of a chance of doing that as well. Immediately, Liverpool have got an injury. Rooney with a corner for us towards Connor Goldson. He's not going to quite get there. Doyle back to Rooney. Is he going to cross? He's trying to get some space for himself by the looks of it. He's gone for goal. Optimistic, mate. Is this another situation where we take a draw? It's not going to be ideal because it means we will stay in 4th place in the table, but it is Liverpool at Anfield, and they're obviously very good at football because they're currently top of the Premier League. Endo with the ball back to Van Dijk. Where is he going to go? We're forcing them backwards at the moment. Alexis McAllister's going to go for a little run forward. Plays on the ground towards Salah. He does get there. Why was Aït-Nouri not quick enough to get there first? It is Luis Diaz with the ball. Goldson's there every step of the way. Diaz's effort isn't very good. Connor Goldson's defending also not very good. Almost in the final 10 of the first half. Rooney's ball towards Girassi doesn't quite manage to get to him. Aït-Nouri back to Diaby. He's gone for goal from there. Why are we doing those types of shots? You were unmarked, you had nobody near you, and you decided to spin around on the spot and just shoot first time. What is going on? Endo to McAllister for Liverpool. Still, obviously, 10 minutes left to play the first half. Van Dijk's going to go for a little run, maybe not, towards Antonio. On the ground to Dominic. He's going to go for a run instead. Nobody likes to run with the ball, even if they've got space. McAllister to Diaz to Adeyemi. I'm pretty sure he was offside. The flag does go up. Adeyemi runs away celebrating. Perry arguably should have stopped that anyway. This is going to be a tight one. VAR says it is disallowed. We've got away with it. Corner for Liverpool just before half-time. Comes in towards the back post. Querfeld clears. Gerassi's going to collect this for us as well. Diaby on that left-hand side. We need to get some more bodies up the field. Diaby can use his pace. That's superb. Love that. Diaby keeps going forward with the ball. He's got 2 in the box. Gerassi's one of them. And Gerassi tucks that ball away. We take the lead against Liverpool with about 30 seconds of normal time to play in the first half. And I must say, that little bit of play from Diaby to kind of knock the ball past his man and run off the pitch. What are we doing defensively there? The flag goes up. What are we doing? I have my set-piece coach sorting out the defending and attacking set pieces because I don't understand it. I'm not really going to dig into it. And he's useless, apparently. Luckily, again, a disallowed goal. But why have we left number 3 and number 10 completely unmarked? And that was actually the last kick of the first half. So we go in with the lead. However, we're lucky. Are we not really lucky to be in the lead there? Liverpool have been potentially the better side, arguably have been the better side, but 2 of their shots that turned into goals haven't kind of contributed to the actual match stats because they were offside. Adeyemi's kicked it straight into Aït-Nouri and it's cleared upfield. Antonio's ball forward towards Endo. We're 5 minutes into the second half. Diaz has to go backwards to McAllister. Now Dominic. Now Adeyemi spins, gets past his man, and Lucas Perry can't stop that one. And neither can the offside flag. It is 1-1. We have only had 1 shot on target and scored it. This is the problem we're having, is actually getting our shots on target. Because if we had more, we might be winning the game again. Rooney's ball comes in from the free kick. Kamara's headed effort, and it's gone wide. I didn't quite see what happened there. It went wide. Okay. Right, time for some changes. Rooney's coming off. We're going to do... Do we do Gyökeres on the wing? Is that a thing we do? We do it that way around, so Diaby goes on the right, Gyökeres on the left. I kind of like that, because it means we've then got Gyökeres and Girassi on the pitch at the same time. Douglas Luiz is going to come on as well. He didn't start this match because of fitness, like I mentioned earlier. Probably should be bringing off Sanket and maybe even Diaby, actually, because Sanket is tired and awful. That's basically that's what he is, isn't he? 6.5 rating and doesn't have a lot of fitness. We're going to do Ramsey in the middle. Do we do that? I mean, that's not what we want to do. We also want to do that change as well. John McGinn, he's very rarely played for us. On he comes with 20 minutes to play against the league leaders. It is Liverpool coming forward. Adeyemi loses out to Douglas Luiz, maybe. No, he doesn't. Keeps hold of the ball, and Luis Diaz makes it 2-1. There was a small bit of hope there that I thought the linesman had his flag up. He doesn't. He's just holding it at a weird angle. The second half crumble is on by the looks of it. We've not done anything in the second half. Arguably, Liverpool haven't been good, but they have scored 4 goals. Their second half performance when it comes to match momentum has just been mad. They've just been so much better than us. And we've just passed to them, obviously. 91 minutes on the clock out of a potential of 96. Are we going to get another late equaliser to make it 2-2? Callum Doyle with the ball. Play it across. Forward slightly to Luiz. Left-hand side is Gyökeres. Going to go for a run. The wrong way. Fair enough, mate. You're going the wrong way, though. In the middle to Dougie Luiz. Ball forward to Girassi. Right-hand side is Kramashi towards Ramsey. Takes a touch. Ramsey's in on goal. And Jacob Ramsey tucks that ball away. We're getting VAR, but I feel like this one's going to count. I don't think he was anywhere close to being offside. The goal has been awarded, and for the second game in a row, we have equalised late on in the match. We've got 96 minutes to play. We've played 97. The full-time whistle goes. I will take that. I will 100% take that. The super sub Ramsey, Kramaski as well, getting an assist to his name. Girassi on the score sheet. 2 points out of a potential 6, let's be honest, but against the only 2 teams in the league that were above us at the start of this episode, that is a good result. Both of them away from home as well, and now we have to go and try and win the Carabao Cup against Spurs. So looking at the league table, we are now just 4 points behind Liverpool. They do still have a game in hand. We are 2 points behind City, 1 point behind Chelsea. We are 5 points ahead of Spurs, who have 2 games in hand, so they might even potentially move ahead of us if they were to win both of those games. But now we have to play Spurs, and hopefully we're going to win our second competition of the entire save. And I didn't think we'd win any at all, let alone 2. This is the team then that I'm putting my faith in for the Carabao Cup final. It's going to be Perry in goal. Goldson gets a start alongside Konsa, Querfeld and Aït-Nouri. Douglas Luiz, Kamara and Sanket in midfield, so we've got our best 3 midfielders. Ignoring Milenkovic-Savic, I don't really count him yet because he's kind of been injured for quite a while. Diaby, Ramsey and Gyökeres will be our front 4 for this one. We did pick up, frustratingly, a little injury to Rooney, so we're missing Casteels, Rooney, McGinn and Son now. Plus we've got Bateman and Doyle, who are both cup-tied. Milenkovic-Savic is on the subs bench. I don't think I'm going to bring him on. He's still out. Let's put Kadir on the subs bench. I'm not going to bring him on, am I? So one of our few trips that we've actually made to Wembley in this save, Tottenham versus Aston Villa in the Carabao Cup final with the fancy Carabao Cup graphics as well. I'm kind of worried, but also not, because let's face it, we're actually a good team. I keep thinking that we're Aston Villa of years ago, where they weren't particularly great, where even they were possibly relegation material. The last few seasons in real life and in game, they've actually got very good, and particularly in game, I've made them better. Douglas Luiz with the ball. We are 4 minutes into the final. Luiz finds Diaby, takes a touch, gets some space for himself, put it in the back of the net. It is over the bar. Kepa playing for Spurs. I was going to say tipped that over. He didn't. It just went straight over. And that's been pretty much the only action. In fact, that has been the only action for the first 25 minutes or so. We've apparently had another shot. Not seen it. Not good enough for anything by the looks of it. Connor Goldson with a throw deep in Spurs territory. Kamara back to Goldson. Diaby collects it. Tries to get it past his man. It's fallen for Sanket. What a save that is from Kepa. It's still alive though. Diaby. He tries to get past his man. We've managed to win a corner. Wharton and I think it was Gordon there combining to make an absolute cluster F. And kick it off for a corner. Diaby's the man to take it then. Left-footed from the right-hand side. It's towards the back post, towards Querfeld. Goldson's keeping it alive. Nobody's putting any pressure on Kepa. Right, we are looking good. So far, we're looking good. We just need to find that cutting edge, get that goal, take the lead. Maybe 1-0 at half-time, and we can kind of build on that from the second half. Looks like there's 2 injuries. Goldson and Gordon are down. We've got the ball. We had the ball. And now Spurs have the ball. Back with Kepa. Gordon is barely off the pitch there, by the way. I'm pretty sure his head's still on the pitch. Aït-Nouri collects of us towards Ramsey with a yellow card to his name. Need to keep an eye on that. Aït-Nouri is going to go across to Querfield. Ramsey collects it. Back to Aït-Nouri, passing it in triangles. Douglas Luiz to Sanket. Play it backwards. There we go. It's what we like to see. Slow builds. Vertical tiki-taka. This is what we want to be doing. This is what we should be doing. Kamara to Goldson, who is back on the pitch. Looks like Gordon might also be back on the pitch. No, he's not quite just yet. Goldson across to Konsa. It's going to go all the way back to the keeper at some point, isn't it? Luiz to Kamara on the ground to Diaby. Takes a few touches. Kepa's tipped onto the bar. How have we not scored that? Is this carrying on? Sanket with the ball. Finds Aït-Nouri towards Ramsey. He's not going to quite get there. And I feel like this highlight is just about to end. It does. And another one immediately begins. We've got 2 minutes and 20 seconds of injury time of the first half. Kamara invites Ramsey forward on that left-hand side. We've got 2 in the box, a couple more joining. Gyökeres is 1, Sanket to Kamara, and another save from Kepa. Kepa is keeping Spurs in this game by himself. He's ridiculous at the moment. Richarlison's keeping this alive for Spurs as well. If they score from this, I'm going to be frustrated and a little bit annoyed. Abada on the right-hand side for Spurs. Does a little bit of a run, gets past his man. Connor Goldson leaps highest. Wharton's keeping it alive. Maddison back to Pedro Porro. Back to Maddison. Basuma to Wharton. This is an exciting match so far. Abada cross comes in. Goldson heads clear. And it's gone off for a corner. We've got 1 minute and 20 seconds left of injury time. Wharton is the man to go over to take it as well. Left-hand side, it's going to go short, isn't it? It does go short to Basuma. Goes for a little run, tries to get some space for himself and manages to do so. And it is blocked. It's actually, I think, a handball. It's offside. Okay, fair enough. It is going to stay 0-0 at half-time. This is arguably a good game for the neutrals, but I'd like us to be winning. We've deserved a goal. Arguably, Kepa's kept them in it. Right, I don't really want to do this, but I feel like we need to look at... It's a groin injury. We need to do that, don't we? Goldson off, Howard-Bellis coming on. Ramsey struggling as well. I think Kader's going to actually get a bit of minutes here, because we haven't got any left-backs, or left-wingers, sorry. How is Kepa only on a 6.9 and Perry's on a 7.0? Kepa has saved arguably 3 shots that should have been destined for the back of the net. It is Mickey van der Ven for Spurs, almost at the hour mark already. Konsa passed that. It's going to be a penalty. If we lose because of a penalty, I'm not going to be happy. VAR is checking. Wharton's picked up a yellow card for something, and it is a penalty. Okay, why did Wharton get booked? I don't know what that was all about. Who is stepping up to take it? Is it Maddison? It is Maddison stepping up. Lucas Perry goes the right way, but it's underneath him, because Lucas Perry doesn't know how to save anything, apparently. Oh, this is annoying me. This is annoying me. Ramsey's coming off. We're going to do Kader coming on that left-hand side. Gyökeres for Girassi as well is going to take place. We've got lots of anxious midfielders. We've got 30 minutes left to play. Kader is making his Villa debut. And he's good. He's actually very good. So I'm not too concerned. But I'd rather not have to bring him on because Ramsey's also very good. Sanket wins the ball. Aït-Nouri plays it back to Perry. Are we going to do anything from this? We've got, 25 minutes? Douglas Luiz and Konsa passing inside our own penalty area, which is a worry. Luiz doesn't get there. And now Spurs with the ball towards Edwards. Controls it-ish. Howard-Bellis comes back, steals it. That's what we like to see. Ball upfield. Sanket flicks ahead on Kader. The Egyptian youngster collects this. He's got Girassi in the middle. Back to Sanket. Ball forward to Kamara. Diaby now goes for goal into the bottom corner. It's 1-1. Diaby finally gets us firing in the final. And we are back on level terms. The 2 subs there up front, or arguably 3 even with Harwood Bellis, played a huge part in that goal. Wharton with it for Spurs. We've got 20 minutes. Maddison, the goal scorer, over the top, is going to easily be collected by our players. It should be easily collected by our players. Esri Konsa, what are you doing? So this ball just goes straight over everybody, and Konsa and Querfeld, what was Konsa trying? Did he think he was like 8 foot tall? You're not 8 foot, mate. The annoying thing as well is Querfeld's getting blamed for that because he didn't chase back because he assumed Konsa had the ball. Nori's coming off. Luca Dean is going to come on. We've got one more change that we can do. I assume it's one more. What else do we do here? Sanket. Is Sanket the one to go off? And then we bring on Kremeshi. And that is it. That is all we can do. It's all of our changes. We're going to lose 2-1 to just defending, really. Let's be honest, it's just defending. And Kepa is a very good goalkeeper. Unless 7 minutes of injury time, let's push to positive. Are we going to get a late equaliser for another 2-2? Here we go. It is the 97th minute. Douglas Luiz to Luca Dean. Kadir to Kramashi. Loses out. Kadir needs to get there first. Kind of does. Luca Dean collects it. Kadir's there. He's crossed it in towards Gerassi. Steps up. He's hit the post. Oh my word. No. That was the chance. That was the chance. The full-time whistle's going to go. Spurs lift the Carabao Cup. And we were robbed. We were robbed there. I mean, you'll probably disagree with me in the comments, but I feel like we did enough to win that game. We got unlucky with a penalty. Nothing we as a manager could do about that. And we got unlucky with the poor defending. Nothing we as a manager could do about that. So it's annoying. It's annoying. This should be us. This should be us lifting our second trophy. I'm going to say I'm satisfied. And then I'm going to say Nori, Querfeld. I mean, I want to say to Konsa, but he's finished on a 6-9. Ramsey as well. Gyökeres, you were not good enough. You did not play well enough at all. Nori looks stressed. You got a 6.2, mate. It's awful. And to add insult to injury, obviously, we haven't played this weekend, but some of the other teams around us have. And we are now, 7 points behind Liverpool, 2 points behind City, 4 points behind Chelsea, and now Arsenal are just 3 points behind us as well. Spurs did play one of their matches, and I think they actually drew, but they're still only 4 points behind us with a game in hand, which obviously if they win that goes to 1 point as well. There are, arguably down to Newcastle, all of those teams are kind of in a fight for the top 4. Don't think anyone who's currently in the 40s, so maybe Man United, maybe Arsenal down to Newcastle aren't in a title fight, but they're definitely in the Champions League fight. Connor Goldson as well joins our lengthy list of injuries. I mean, that's a lot of injuries. And most of them are first-team players. Goldson, Rooney, Son, and Milenkovic-Savic, all first-team players out injured. And the fact that we're still kind of putting in results is quite good. So with that out of the way then, next episode, we are going to go somewhere. I don't even know, to be honest. I genuinely have no idea. It's going to be the 5th episode of Season 3. I'm not going to worry about the Champions League. Unless we get to the semi-final, then I'm suddenly going to get a little bit more interested. We're going to go somewhere in the future. Thank you very much for watching this one. The results didn't go our way, but arguably they did go our way for 2 of them. If you did enjoy, do please remember to leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and I'll be back next time. Now, you might be thinking today's episode is going to be the last episode of the Aston Villa save, and I don't think it will be because somehow we're in the Champions League semi-final against Liverpool, which is what we're going to be focusing on today. We are also going to have a league game against Stoke. That's right, Stoke are actually in the Premier League. Genuinely didn't even realise they were in the Premier League. We've played them. They're all the way down in 16th place, kind of in a relegation battle, but maybe they're going to be good enough to get clear of that. Doesn't really matter for us. We are going to jump straight in to the Liverpool game. If we win the Liverpool game, I can't remember who it might be in the final, actually. It's Real Madrid or PSG. 2 very good teams. And little old Aston Villa. Although, we did win the Champions League in 1982... maybe 2026 is our year. The starting lineup then for the Liverpool game. It's the home leg first. Will be Perry in goal. Goldson, Konsa, Doyle and Nori in defence. Luiz, Milenkovic-Savic and Sanket in midfield. Diaby and Ramsey on the wings with Gyökeres leading the line. Gyökeres is starting to get some goals. He's starting to play a little bit better. He's still struggling. He's only got 5 goals in 12 starts for us in the league. But I think he's kind of getting there. Performances lately have been very good, getting goals and assists, which is nice. Obviously, we've not mentioned what's going on in the league at the moment. We'll talk about that when we play Stoke, I guess. Liverpool in the Champions League is obviously going to be tough. And by obviously, I mean, yes, it's Liverpool. It's the Champions League. They're currently, I think they're second in the league at the moment. I think Chelsea have actually jumped up ahead of them. I do think we have a chance. It's not a big chance, but I think we've got a chance. It is a throw for Liverpool. Joe Gomez is the man to take it. Towards Diogo Jota. Elliott, ball forward to Adeyemi. His effort is saved by Lucas Perry, the Brazilian goalkeeper. He didn't need to do it anyway. Adeyemi was offside. We are 25 minutes into a Champions League quarter-final, and we've had a shot, apparently, and it was ours as well. It wasn't very good. Gyökeres with the ball towards Ramsey. Gets the ball back somehow. Goes for a curling effort, and Alisson with a very, very good save. Almost a superb goal from Gyökeres. Looking at Liverpool's condition, this could go our way. Trent is struggling. Van Dijk is struggling. Salah is struggling. Jota and Adeyemi struggling. Endo struggling as well. Half-time it is 0-0. Very little going on in this match, as you can probably tell from the XG graph. Liverpool have done nothing, though. They've had 0 shots. We're going straight into the second half, and I'm just hoping we get a decent chance. Sergei's effort, oh my word. Milenkovic-Savic with a superb free kick after 48 minutes puts us in the lead in the Champions League semi-final first leg. Obviously, there is a second leg of this. So even if we win this, we are not in the final. But we have kind of got one foot in the door. Maybe we've just got a handle on the handle of the door. That might be what we're talking about here. Virgil van Dijk with the ball to Elliott, to Joe Gomez. So far, Liverpool have offered absolutely nothing. Van Dijk and Elliott and Gomez passing between the three of them, not really making too much ground until now. McAllister goes for a run. Adeyemi always seems to get a lovely through ball. It's towards McAllister this time, and Alexis McAllister blasts it into the back of the net. It's 1-1. Literally, they've had one shot. That was it. That was their only shot they've had all game, and they've put it in the back of the net. I want to win this match. We need to win this one. 2-1, I'll take. Douglas Luiz's corner comes in. Milenkovic-Savic is there. It's palmed onto the bar, maybe, by the goalkeeper. Ait Nouri's going to not keep this one alive. Okay. Just beyond the hour mark, I'm thinking of subs, but I'm not really sure what to do. Do we do Ramsey coming off? He's not playing well, and he is struggling fitness-wise. We're going to do Rooney coming on. Diaby, we've got McGinn that we can put on the right-hand side. Or left, it is the right-hand side, sorry. We've also got this man, Krejcik. He came through our youth intake in literally March. He's rubbish. He's absolutely rubbish. We're not playing him in the Champions League semi-final. It's going to be John McGinn coming on. And I think that's all we're going to do for the moment. I'm looking at Gyökeres. Obviously, we've got Girassi on the subs bench, who I think probably should be coming on sooner rather than later. As matches go, and as Champions League ties go, it's been very boring. Sanket's going to come off for Kremeshi. We're going to do Douglas Luiz as well, coming off for Kamara. We've also done Girassi coming on as well for Gyökeres. Literally nothing's happened. This second half, we've seen very little. We've got a highlight, but I think this is because of subs. I'm hoping this is because of subs. Sucic across to Endo, goes for a shot. It's deflected. Lucas Perry makes a very good save. It is going to be a corner. We are now going to do our subs, and I'm hoping that doesn't screw anything up. We've got a corner of our own. Rooney is the man to take it. Milenkovic-Savic is there, doesn't really get on the end of it. Rooney can get another chance thanks to Ezri Konsa. Gerassi's there at the front post. It's another corner. There is another goal in this game. I think we're going to go short to John McGinn by the looks of this. Looking at this setup, it is short to John McGinn. What are we going to do? Find Kremashi. The American cross is not very good. Alisson comes out, holds on to that one. We've deserved to win this. We've genuinely deserved to win this, in my opinion. And unfortunately, it looks like we are not going to win it. It is a 1-1 draw against Liverpool. We had 1.25 XG. The goal from McAllister, kind of against the run of play. They did come back into it in the second half, but still, we should have won that. It is still so weird to see us sat in a Champions League semi-final. Also, Sanka is the joint top goal scorer in the Champions League. He has 22 goals in all competitions, which, considering he plays as a central midfielder, that's arguably too many. I'd question whether that was a bug or not. Right, back in the league then, up against Stoke, and we are going for some rotation for this because obviously I think we need to focus on the Champions League. We'll talk about the league table once the match kicks off, but it's going to be Perry in goal, Bateman, Konsa, Doyle and Luke Dean in defence. Gravenberch gets a rare start, Milenkovic-Savic and Sanka in midfield. Diaby, Kadir and Girassi leading the lines for this one. We've gone for some rotation. I've basically dropped most people who have a match load of heavy. So Ramsey, Gyökeres, Goldson and Douglas Luiz have all been dropped. I should probably drop Diaby and Milenkovic-Savic, but I can't afford to drop everyone good. So we are currently sat third place in the league table. We are, I think, 7 points off the top of the table, but we are 3 points clear of fourth place Manchester City, which means with 12 points up for grabs in the remaining 4 games of the season. If we win all 4 matches, which includes a match against Chelsea, by the way, we still might not win the league. We just need to hope that Chelsea and Liverpool slip up, basically. That's the hope, that's the goal, that's the plan. Obviously, we also need to just win our games as well. Already in this Stoke game, we've had nothing at all. We've got a lot of possession, 70%. I think that almost went up to them. 2 shots for us, but not a single highlight to talk about until now. Max Kilman to Roth on that left-hand side for Stoke. It is Jayden. He's the former Villa player, former Hull player in this game as well. Kadir goes for a little run forward, finds Sanket, takes a touch, takes a few more touches, tucks it past the goalkeeper. Oyhane Sanket gets his 23rd goal of the season. Realistically, a player putting in this performance from central midfield throughout a Premier League and a Champions League season would be nominated for World Player of the Year, right? Am I not mistaken? Like, he's been insane for us. I thought we overspent when we bought him for about £25 million. I think we've got a superb deal. Corner for Stoke just before the half-hour mark. Josh Madra is there. He doesn't really get it. Milenkovic-Savic heads upwards. Doesn't really clear it. Wilmot. Ball forward to Philogene. Is that his name? Jayden Philogene might be his name. Kilman back to Roth. Gerassi was closing him down but didn't get close enough to him. Jayden once again on that left-hand side. I'm glad they put Jayden as his name because it is Philogene because I can't say Philogene. He's also bit the hand that used to feed him. Is that little bit of commentary going to turn up? I don't think it is. We have just conceded against Stoke, which, yeah, that's a thing that's happened, apparently. And frustratingly as well, looking at the match momentum graph, completely against the run of play also. And that takes us to half-time. Fairly uneventful. I think we haven't been good. We've not been good enough. I've given everyone a bit of a shouting at. They've listened. We've gone straight into the second half and straight into a highlight by the looks of it. Diaby to Gerassi. Blocked shots. Luka Dean's going to keep this alive. Kadir, the Egyptian, back to Luka Dean. Is he going to cross? Finds Gravenberch. Takes a few touches. Tries to curl it into the top corner. Melee, the goalkeeper, with a decent enough save. Ryan Gravenberch, the Liverpool loanee, looks like he's going to go over and take it as well. Yes, he is. Number 15. Doesn't really play a lot for us, to be honest. So this is quite a treat for him. It's towards Ezri Konsa, who came just ghosting in at the front post. We do get another corner from all that, though. So is it going to be Konsa trying once again? We're not going to go short. We're going to go for a proper corner, which is... I prefer proper corners. Gravenberch this time. It was Konsa. It wasn't. It was Callum Doyle instead. It is 2-1. We retake the lead 2 minutes into the second half. I'm hoping the team talk that I gave has kind of put a rocket up their arse, and we're going to just absolutely battle them in the second. Or nothing could happen. That's also an option. We are, 15 minutes after the goal. It is 2-1. No highlights to talk about. We are going to possibly do some changes, and it's going to be... I say fitness... It's not really fitness because they're not particularly tired, but we are going to do some changes to make sure that we're keeping our best players in tip-top condition. So we're going to do Kamara and Ramsey coming on, Sanket and Milenkovic-Savic coming off. I think we'll probably just do that. Do we do Konsa as well for Querfeld? Sure. That might be a risk, changing Konsa, because we're only winning 2-1. It's not like we're 4 or 5-0 up and this game's dead. There's still plenty of time. Luka Dean's cross comes in. Easily claimed by the goalkeeper. I don't like the look of this highlight. I really don't like the look of this highlight. Melee is going to go for a little wander around his area. Big kick from the Stoke keeper. Do we get the ball? No, we don't. Yes, we do. It's a red card. Jayden Philogene has been sent off for 2 yellow cards against his former club after scoring a goal as well. He's had an eventful day, hasn't he? Wilmot with the ball then. We've got 15 minutes left to play. Big lump upfield towards the goalkeeper. I assume there was an injury? Because that couldn't have been a good plan. That wasn't really what was going through his mind, was it? Lucas Perry to Querfeld, the substitute. Is he just going to go for a run forward? Kamara to Gerassi. Now Diaby gets there first. Finds Ramsey. Takes a couple of touches. It whistles past the post. Still 2-1. We are going to do another change because I realised we've still got Diaby on the pitch. So Rooney is also going to come on. I think we will just do that one change. We've obviously got one more sub to do, but we can do one more break and play. We are getting our shots away. In fact, we're absolutely dominating Stoke, but we're just not scoring goals. They're not very good shots. Well, I say not very good. 20 shots, an XG of 2.5, a 2-1 win. I guess we'll take it. It's 3 points, which is at the end of the day, that's what we wanted to do, but I would have liked to seen a few more goals because we were clearly good enough. Kadir getting a 7.2 and an assist, which is good in his first Premier League appearance. Doyle also scoring from the corner as well. Lovely. And with that win, we do stay third place in the table, but that is because we were the early kickoff. Later on today then, what have we got? Liverpool, Chelsea, Man City are the teams that we care about. arguably Chelsea, Arsenal and Spurs, maybe? Doesn't look like actually anyone's interested in playing. Man City are playing Norwich. I know Liverpool got Wolves as well. Right, we're going to click continue. We're going to see what happens in that. Man City won, Liverpool won, Man United lost, but Man United are out of this anyway, so Liverpool jumped to the top of the table. Chelsea drew with Bournemouth. Chelsea drawing with Bournemouth means that Liverpool get their chance at the top of the table. We are just 6 points. 6 points behind top of the table. Arguably it's 7 with that goal difference, because we're not overturning that, are we? We're not overturning an extra 22 goal difference. Right then, the second leg against Liverpool, obviously 1-1 after the first leg. It's going to be Lucas Perry in goal, Goldson, Konsa, Doyle and Aït-Nouri in defence, Louise, Milenkovic-Savic and Sanket in midfield, Diaby, Ramsey and Girassi leading the line. Girassi I'm putting up there because he does have 20 goals this season. Gyökeres only on 10. Obviously, Girassi's been here all season, whereas Gyökeres has only had half a season, but still, Girassi, I kind of trust him more to score the goals at the moment. I have just realised as well, I completely neglected to tell you how we got to the semi-final. We beat Man City in the quarterfinals, and I'm not quite sure how we did. I think we drew 0-0 in the home leg, and then I think we beat them like 3-1, something stupid like that. So yeah, we actually managed to beat Man City, and then we annoyingly drew against Liverpool in the semi-final. There were so many other non-English teams that we could have got. Well, amazing. Right, after 15 minutes, Jacob Ramsey's picked up an injury. We're going to go Gyökeres on the wing. Sure, let's see how well that works. It means we've got Girassi, we've got Gyökeres both playing at the same time. Douglas Luiz with the ball. McAllister's just been flattened by Connor Goldson. Milenkovic-Savic, ball across, finds Aït-Nouri. Left-hand side is Gyökeres, does use Gyökeres. We've got Sanket, number 8, in the middle. If he wants to use him, he does. Good. This is what we like to see. Passing it around. Lovely bit of football. Dougie Luiz on the ground to Girassi. Through ball finds Diaby. We've got 3 in the box. He's gone it alone. And Moussa Diaby puts us in front at Anfield. We are 2-1 up on aggregate. 1-0 on the night. I mean, we could be really stupid and just try and just go defensive for the next 70 minutes. We're not going to. Mainly because that's not how I play Football Manager. I just like to blindly just go forward with exactly the same tactic that we play for the entire season and hope for the best. It is Salah with the ball. Tries to get some space for himself to get a shot away. He does, but Lucas Perry makes a decent save. It's going to be a corner. McAllister has gone over to take it. Obviously scored the equalising goal in the first leg. Adeyemi back to McAllister. He was offside, surely. Sanket clears it. I think he was offside. Terrible bit of football. I love it. And as boring as it is, it's half-time. Nothing's happened since that little weird offside thing. Nothing's happened at all. We have the lead. You're doing well. Keep going. I'm not going to do any changes at the moment. I imagine Liverpool are going to come out in the second half trying to get that equalising goal. Obviously, they kind of have to. But you know how this game works sometimes. Second half, you're playing against a completely different team. Or we're playing against nobody because we're now 65 minutes in and nothing's happening. I'm going to give a shout to Gyökeres because you're doing nothing. You're on a 6.5. You obviously came on early on in the match. I don't want to bring you off, but I feel like I'm going to. We're nearly 75 minutes in. That's nuts, isn't it? Adeyemi with the ball, gets some space for himself. Lucas Perry can hold on to that one. Take your time, mate. Take all day with the ball. Right, we are going to do a couple of changes. Sanket's coming off. We are going to do... We can play Gravenberch. We're doing it, just, you know, for shits and giggles. Gyökeres is also going to come off. I know obviously he did come on. Rooney's going to be the man to play instead. We've still got 2 more subs to do. And I'm looking, realistically, maybe Diaby needs to come off, maybe Milenkovic-Savic, but that's fitness related rather than performance. Absolutely nothing's happening. Like nothing at all. There's a free kick with 2 minutes of normal time to play. Douglas Luiz with the ball, plays it on the ground. Aït-Nouri collects it, takes a touch, wasn't the best touch, but can still hold on to the ball. And that was not good. That's not what we want at all. Ball forward, finds Darwin Núñez. Crosses it in. Connor Goldson clears it. Good boy, Connor Goldson. Girassi collects it. Down the right-hand side, we're going to have hopefully a couple of options. If somebody wants to go for a run, anybody fancy going for a run? Nobody did. Konsa intercepts it. That's what we like. Aït-Nouri down the line to Rooney. Our first touch and our just general control of the ball is a little bit questionable at the moment. In the middle to Gravenberch. Please score. Oh my word, he almost did. Gravenberch almost scored against his own team. Luis Diaz loses out to Goldson. We're getting some goal line technology. It's not gone in, guys. I've never seen that goal line technology used in Football Manager and they go, oh, actually, no, it was a goal. We've done it. We've actually done it. It was so underwhelming, by the way. That match, The entire thing from start to finish was 5 minutes. So for you, it's probably 3 minutes. We're in a Champions League final with Aston Villa. Congratulations on reaching the final. You deserve it. I don't know whether you do, to be honest. I honestly have no idea. So it looks like we're off to Barcelona to play at the Nou Camp. We've picked up £10.7 million. That Ramsey injury is not good. It's not good at all. Right, that's pretty much... I assume that's his season done, right? We have PSG in the final. Oh, right. So, next episode then. We are going to play Chelsea next episode because it's a big one for the season. We're going to play probably Spurs. We might play Forest. And we might have 4 matches in the next episode, or we might split it into 2, depending on how things go. Honestly, I don't know what's happening next time around. We have dropped down to 4th. I assume we've now got a game in hand. We do. If we win that game in hand, we'll go 76 points, so we'll go back up into 3rd guaranteed. Hopefully, Liverpool and Chelsea, we're playing Chelsea, and Liverpool playing Forest. I think we're not winning the league. Just putting it out there. Now, if you told me at the start of this season that you'd be runner-up in the Carabao Cup, you'd be challenging for possibly the title, and you'd be in a Champions League final, I wouldn't believe you. This is what's happening. This is genuinely what's happening. To get here, by the way, we almost got knocked out by Borussia Mönchengladbach. We turned it around in the second leg. We beat Man City 1-1, and then I've just clicked on the wrong thing there. 1-1 and 2-0 after extra time. That was it. Kremeshi and Gyökeres from the penalty spot. And then obviously we've just beaten Liverpool as well, thanks to Milenkovic-Savic and Diaby. And just a general boring football match. I can't believe it. We're in a Champions League final. Next episode though, we might be finishing the league. We might also have the Champions League final. With 3 games left to play with Aston Villa in the league, we could technically still win the league. Although it does mean that we need to hope that Liverpool, Chelsea and Man City basically lose every single one of their remaining games. Good news for us is we are kicking off today's episode with a match against Chelsea, which if we lose this, I think that basically puts the final nail in the coffin of us finishing arguably in the top 2, and it means that we are basically going to be finishing 3rd or 4th depending on what happens with Manchester City. So let's jump straight in to the Chelsea game. So this episode could be a rather long episode because basically what happens if we beat Chelsea and we beat Spurs, we then have to know what obviously is going to happen in the final game of the season. And we've got a Champions League final to play, which I think might be a standalone episode by itself at the end of the season. We need to make sure we win this game. If we don't win this game, I think our hopes for finishing 2nd or 3rd, or 1st or 2nd, is out of the window. And we are basically just trying to better what Manchester City do. Ait-Nouri with the ball to Mings. I didn't go through the starting 11, did I? Just completely ignored it. You've probably worked it out by now who's actually playing. Caicedo's in on goal. Caicedo goes very, very close to scoring. Arguably, should have probably passed that. There's no real surprises in our starting 11. We are going with Gyökeres up front rather than Girassi. Other than that, that's pretty much a standard starting 11 for us, and it has been pretty much all season. Chilwell's throw to Nkunku for Chelsea. Mudryk, obviously he's going to score because he always bloody does against us. Hits the outside of the goal. Stays 0-0. Chelsea having the best chances. We've got a shot on target with a 0.00 XG. How? How is that even possible? It is hopefully cleared. Lucas, come out. Somebody... Mudryk has scored his 6th goal of the season, and I imagine that's probably his 4th against us. There is some offside stuff going on, which I have no idea what's going to happen here. I feel like it's going to count, because I'm pretty sure we've got players like on the line or something. Yeah, it's definitely counting. There was no argument there. We're 1-0 down already, and this could be such an anticlimactic end to this Villa save. If we just lose this one and then lose against Spurs, we're basically done for, aren't we? It is Milenkovic-Savic with the ball. Passes it straight to Nkunku. Great pass. Superb pass from a world-class midfielder. Nkunku's effort hits the inside of the post. Konsa clears it. Sanket heads down to Diaby. Are we going to carry on this highlight? No, we are not. Both Liverpool and Man City are also winning in their games, which means it is basically over at that point, isn't it? It is basically over. If we look at the league table, we are going to be in 4th place with 2 games left to play, which means we can potentially go up to 79 points, which is enough to put us into 3rd place. And Nkunku's cross comes in. Levi Colwill is there, and Colwill makes it 2-0. Or does he? We're getting more VAR. Pretty sure this one's going to count as well. It's not counted. It has been disallowed. It goes back to being 1-0 to Chelsea, but we have done absolutely nothing. Apparently we had a shot, And I don't think it clearly wasn't good enough because we didn't see it, but also it has a 0.00 XG. Yeah, pretty impressive. And then we've just had one right before half-time. We're not going to win if we don't shoot. Sure, we'll go for that. Straight into the second half. Probably should look at bringing off Ike Nori as he's on a 6.3. Sanket has dropped to a 6.5 and he's looking very, very tired. This might be a fitness result, this one. Chelsea are a slightly fitter side than us at the moment. Well, 60 minutes have been played. We've done absolutely nothing at all. So a bunch of changes. Luka Dean's going to come on for Ike Nori. We're going to do Sanket off for Kramashi. We'll do Kramashi. He's a Mazzala, so I feel like he's better in that position. We're going to do Son coming on the right-hand side. He is still slightly injured. Do we do Diaby off as well? Maybe we do that, and we do that. There we go. So Gyökeres onto the left-hand side. Girassi coming on up front. We are not doing very well at all. We've had all the possession as well. That's the frustrating thing. We've got 56% possession, but only 3 shots. We're just not getting anywhere near their goal, apparently. Into the final 10 minutes, we've had no highlights in the second half. Very few in the first. Luka Dean with a free kick for us. He's gone for a shot. He's gone for a shot from there. What were you expecting was going to happen? Man City is 6-0 up against West Ham. I don't know why they're going for goal difference here, but they are apparently going for goal difference. We've lost 1-0 against Chelsea in a very underwhelming match, which I'm not happy with. I don't like what I saw from the team. That's what I'm trying to say. And I think, looking at the league table, we've got 2 games left to play, so we can get potentially onto 79 points, which is going to be enough to put us ahead of Man City. However, because of their 7-0 win against West Ham, their goal difference is far superior to ours. And looking at the league table as well, Arsenal have a game in hand over us. If they win that, they go on to 71 points. So they are in this battle. Arsenal are most definitely in this battle with us. We are going to go forward to tomorrow, or the other side of the Arsenal-Brentford game, because that is kind of a key thing. Brentford need to win as well. That is big. That is very big. Thank you very much, Brentford. A 1-1 draw means that we stay fourth anyway. It was always going to happen, but it is now 4 points between us and Arsenal, and we've got 2 games left to play, and one of them is against Nottingham Forest. They've won 5 games so far this season. Yes, one of them was against us. I'm hoping they don't do the double over us. Right, match number 2 then is at home against Spurs. But before we even get there, Everton have beaten Chelsea, which doesn't mean much for anything, but it does mean that Liverpool stay top of the table. Liverpool also did just lose, I think. Yeah, they lost against Spurs recently, which has kind of brought Spurs into this fight as well. Because if they win, they'll be on 70 points, which means they could technically go ahead of us. But I'm hoping our goal difference is great enough. Arsenal have Wolves. Wolves are in a relegation scrap as well. Please, Wolves, do us a favour. Right, the starting lineup then for the Spurs game is going to be Perry in goal, Goldson, Konsa, Mings and Doyle in defence, Milinkovic-Savic playing as that regista with Kramashi, and Sanket in midfield ahead of him, Diaby, Son and Gyökeres leading the lines. It's not going to be Gyökeres, it's going to be Girassi. Son playing against Spurs once again. I want a goal, I want a good performance from you. You've literally not done one all season. I mean, it's not true, he's definitely put in some good performances, but if there's ever a time to do it, son, now is that time. Edwards with a free kick for Spurs to Wharton, flicks his head on. Goldson clears, but not very far. I'm trying Milinkovic-Savic in that regista role because we are missing Douglas Luiz through. I think he's injured or he might just be very tired. Goldson loses out. Lucas Perry calmly doesn't want to pick that one up, just controls it well just outside of his own goal line. Diaby to Goldson, back to Konsa. Left-hand side is Callum Doyle. Not really a left-back, but fitness concerns means kind of has to be. Sanket gets it from Son. Through ball, finds the former Spurs man. Girassi's in front. He's trying to get some space for himself. And oh my word, Kepa makes the save. Son almost blasted that one into the bottom corner. We get a corner ourselves. Son is the man to take it then, right-footed. Who have we got in there? It's towards Milinkovic-Savic at the front post. It's cleared. Son decides, doesn't want to carry that one on. I've seen that happen far too many times. In that situation, Son would have kept that alive. He would have kicked that ball, kept it in play, and maybe tried to whip across him whilst all the defenders were up. Son collects this. Back to Tyrone Mings. We are 9 minutes into this match. Girassi loses out, and now Pavlidis finds Kulusevski. Goes on the ground, finds Marcus Edwards as well. Cuts inside, plays it through to Basuma, and Basuma puts that in space. Considering how far into this match we are, a lot has gone on, hasn't it? There's a lot going on. Man United are beating Palace. Elsewhere, the one that we really need to look at is actually an evening kickoff, which is the Arsenal versus Wolves one. Basuma with a free kick a long, long way out, so he's not going to shoot. It is fallen for Kulusevski, and Kulusevski does shoot. It is 1-0. but we're getting VAR. I think it's going to count, so I don't think it's necessary. There you go. The goal has counted. It is 1-0 to Spurs. Are we going to do the same thing that we did, I think, the end of last season, wasn't it? Where we just collapsed. We were good all the way until the final couple of matches, and then we just threw it all away. We were really bad. Wharton to Pavlidis. Touch gets past his man. Perry makes a save, gives away a corner. We're going to see the corner as well. Marcus Edwards goes over to take it. Left-footed from the left-hand side. Lucas Perry comes out, comes onto it, claims it well. Is the highlight carrying on? No, it is not. Son and Jurassic playing poorly. Both on 6-5. Sanket on a 6-6. We've got Doyle on a 6-5 as well as the left-back. Milenkovic-Savic on a 6-6. Just jumped up to a 6-7. For the second match in a row, we're just not doing anything, are we? We're just not doing anything at all. Half-time then it is 1-0 to Spurs and we have been rubbish. What was that? Get your act together. It's fired everybody up. The strikers are both on 6-4s, or 2 of the 3 anyway. Already 10 minutes into the second half, and so far no highlights. We're getting all the possession, just not doing anything with it. Just doing absolutely nothing. 62% possession, and we're doing nothing with it. Right, 65 minutes in, time for some changes. It is Gyökeres coming on. Son, have we got anyone? I mean, Rooney can play on the right. There we go. So Diaby on the left. Rooney goes over to the right-hand side. Anyone else playing badly? Sanket playing badly. So we'll do Gravenberch. Why not? I mean, Diaby's struggling as well, but we've got no other left or right-sided players that come on. Luca Dean, maybe? Do we do that? I mean, he can kind of play there, can't he? I can't believe I'm doing this. I genuinely cannot believe I'm doing that. I'm playing Luca Dean in an inside forward role. We've done 4 changes there as well, haven't we? We need something, just anything to happen. We've got some shots away. We've still got the majority of the possession. And we're doing nothing with it. Edwards with the ball for Spurs. Rooney nicks it off. So here we go. Can we see all of the subs combining? Connor Goldson, just inside the Spurs half. Dodgy bit of football there, Connor. Just wandering around on the edge of, on the halfway line. Not really good at control though, are you? Tyrone Mings can go forward. Finds Gravenberch. Back to Mings. Left-hand side is a couple of options. Concert is now on the ball. What are we doing? We've got 10 minutes to find an equaliser. Doyle to Gravenberch. Luca Dean on that left-hand side. Ball through to Gyökeres. In on goal. He has to score. He does score. The flag goes up. It's not going to count. We're getting VAR. I think it might count. It's been disallowed. You absolute clown, Gyökeres. How close was this? He was offside. He was definitely offside. I mean, that is frustrating to say the least. So frustrating. The first thing we've done all match, and he was offside. Davies with the ball. Intercepted by Kromashki. It is Gyökeres with it. You're the lead striker, mate, and you're inside your own half. Esri Concert to Tyrone Mings. Still a possible opportunity here. Luca Dean's on the left-hand side. Gyökeres is making a run. Callum Doyle. Ball through. Gyökeres this time blasts it into the back of the net. This time he's on the side. And we equalise against Spurs. And that could be a massive, massive goal for us in the grand scheme of things. It doesn't mean a huge amount to the league table, but it does mean that we are not dropping I say not dropping any points. We're only dropping 2 points rather than 3. Rooney down that right-hand side. Is there going to be a late winner for us? Kromashki's in on goal. He's gone for goal himself. He wins a corner. You should have passed it, mate. You really should have just passed it. On the floor, you had, I think Gyökeres was in there. I think even Gravenberch was in there. But no, you went it alone. Luca Dean goes over to take the corner then. What have we got in there? Plenty of options, obviously. Towards the middle, it's Connor Goldson. He's not going to get there. Davies clears it. Keep it alive, Ryan. Down the left-hand side, Gravenberch goes for a run. He's got plenty in the middle. Get your cross in. Or pass it to somebody who can. Callum Doyle to Luca Dean. Back to Milenkovic-Savic. Kromashki's there. It's taken a deflection. Benjamin Kromashki's claiming it. I don't think it's really his goal, is it? But we have taken the lead in the 91st minute out of 94 against Spurs. What a turnaround. The subs have really made the difference. I'm going to do a final change, and this is literally time wasting. Tommy Doyle's coming on to waste a bit of time. And oh my word, we have 2 minutes of injury time to play to just hold on. Oh, no. Pedro Porro to Asprilla, back to Porro, crosses the ball in towards the back post, Consa clears it. Rooney should be getting there first and does so. We've got 30 seconds. Milenkovic-Savic, ball upfield. Gyökeres is nowhere near it. I'm not sure what he thought where that ball was going. Davies keeps this alive, possibly for Spurs. Asprilla down the left. I'm just looking at that clock. Ball comes in. Richarlison's there. He's hit the post. Callum Doyle, what are you... Football Manager, I want to throw you out the window and you're a digital copy. What is that? What has possibly happened here? Aspria's cross comes in, Richarlison's effort hits the post, Callum Doyle's control's awful, and then he just kicks it into the net. Just kicks it straight into the net, and it's 2-2. Oh, that moment there might screw up our chances of Champions League football. That's ridiculous. Right, we are going to click continue a couple more times. So we've qualified for the Europa League, which is not really interesting at all. Arsenal have beaten Wolves 3-0. It means we're going to have one more match in this episode, which is going to be against Forest, who are bottom of the table, already relegated. We need to make sure that we win that game. If we win that game, we will finish at least 4th. We might even finish 3rd, depending on... Can we do profile, I guess? Who are Man City playing in the final game of the season? Where are they? They're playing Brentford, who have something to play for. They're in a relegation scrap themselves. Forest have nothing to play for. We should be good enough to win that. So we're going to go forward to the Forest game, and then we're going to have one more episode of this season and this save, which is going to be a one-off match of the Champions League final. Right, realistically then, we just need to play our game and win. It sounds really simple. We're going to drop Callum Doyle because it's annoyed me, okay? That goal has annoyed me. It's going to be Perry in goal. Goldson, Konsa, Mings, Ait-Nouri, Louise, Milinkovic-Savic, Sanket, Diaby-Sun and Gyökeres. Basically, this is kind of our best 11, I think. And if we were to do another season, this is what it would be. Plus a brand new right back, because I don't think Connor Goldson's it anymore. Arguably, he wasn't it in the first place. So the only tough thing about this, I say only tough thing, is the fact that we're away from home. Against Forest at the City Ground is not going to be an easy place to go to, but they literally have nothing to fight for at all. They are relegated. They've been relegated for a while. We just need to make sure that we do our job, win the game. We're finishing 4th. Obviously, we've got a highlight going on. Douglas Luiz with the ball to Diaby. Back to Douglas Luiz. I thought it was going to be Connor Goldson, but no, we've just lost the ball because of miscommunications. Huskovic goes across to Ola Aina on that right-hand side. He's got loads of pace as far as I'm aware. Down the right, can he get his cross away? He does. Mings easily intercepts it. That's what we like. Back to Tyrone Mings from Sanket. Now Sanket again with the ball forward. Finds Gyökeres in the centre circle. Diaby's off on the right-hand side. Elanga with a slide tackle that didn't need to be made, if I'm perfectly honest. It's Niakate, could be his name. Elanga gets it back again. Forest are looking good. This is not ideal. Ait-Nouri's... It's 1-0 to Forest. It's 1-0 to Nottingham Forest, a team that won 5 times all season, and we are already losing to them after 7 minutes, and they've got literally nothing to play for. I'm very confused as well as to why 4th, 5th and 6th are in a light green. Does that mean only 3 teams get Champions League? Have we dropped down in the whole coefficient rankings, and that's what that means? Gibbs White's cross comes in. Milinkovic-Savic, or Goldson, I think, actually cleared that one. Elanga's going to keep it alive. 22 minutes on the clock. Forest are looking like the best team in the world at the moment. Ait-Nouri intercepts easily. Douglas Luiz returning to the starting 11 after a week out. Sanket, ball in the middle, finds Milinkovic-Savic. Luiz, Sanket again, passing around in triangles, trying to find some space. It's fine. I think it's fine. It might be fine until we pass the ball straight to a Forest player. It's now found its way to Diaby on the right-hand side. Use your pace. Down the wing, buddy. Down the wing. Just keep going all the way down the wing. Gyökeres should be in the middle. Sun should be in the middle as well. Milinkovic-Savic collects it. He's got an option in Sanket. Sun's on the left. Goes to Ait-Nouri instead, actually. He's cut inside. He's been kicked by Ola Aina. It's going to be a penalty. And can he get booked for that? Can that be a red as well? I feel like it should be a red because it was a goal-scoring opportunity. It is a penalty. We have a chance to equalise. It is number 6, Dougie Luiz, stepping up to take it. Ola Aina is a lucky boy to still be on the pitch at this point. Luiz then goes for the penalty into the bottom right-hand side. Nothing Vlachimodos could do about it. I'm still not sure if that's how it's said, but it's Odysseys is what's written on the pitch, but we're going to call him Vlachimodos. It's 1-1 against Forest, and that is good enough for now to keep us in 4th place. Although if Arsenal score, I think our goal difference is still good enough. Even a draw here should be okay, unless Arsenal win like 7 or 8-0. Son to Sanket, it's another penalty. Is it another penalty minutes later? It is another penalty, so Douglas Luiz has a chance to get second of the game. It's not Douglas Luiz, it's Gyökeres. Why is it Gyökeres stepping up to take this? I'm not complaining, I'm just confused as to why we've decided to change our penalty takers. Gyökeres does score, gets his, I think, 12th goal of the season. We take the lead against Forest, but we did need a lot of help from basically Nottingham Forest defenders kicking our players. That puts us on to 77 points, which is not going to be enough. It is enough. Hold on, Man City are losing. Man City are losing to Brentford, which means we move up into 3rd place in the table. Liverpool currently top, 4 points clear. I think they've just taken the lead in their match. We're doing well. Keep going. Football. Do a football. Not really paying attention to what we're doing at the moment. So we're up into third. Liverpool are winning their game against Chelsea. That's a title decider. That's massive. That match is absolutely massive. We need to keep an eye on what's going on in the Brentford game. Arguably the Leeds-Arsenal game as well, but luckily for us, Leeds are winning that one. Nothing is happening here in Nottingham. We're going to do a couple of changes. Diaby's coming off for Rooney. Son's coming off for... We're doing it again. Why not? Luca Dean, left winger. Literally, this might be his last game for the club. And the last 2 matches, we played him as a left winger, which is definitely not his position. Shade loses out to Ait-Nouri. Tyrone Mings. Maybe, actually, Ait-Nouri's probably better as a left winger, because I think he can play there. Rooney collects this ball forward. He's got Gyökeres in the middle. Gets some space. Passes it to Gyökeres. Struijk intercepts it, though. Danilo's ball forward to Kevin Shade. Plays it back to Pascal Struijk. Highlight randomly ends. There was no highlight in that. Final 10 minutes. We still have the lead. We still have third place in the table. What do we do? Do we do some changes? I want to try that. I mean, Ait-Nouri... they can both kind of ish play there. We're going to swap you around. Why not? Sanket's going to come off for Kromaski, because Kromaski obviously had a very vital part to play in that last match. We're going to do just one change. We've got 2 more that we can do. Man City have leapt over us once again, so they've equalised against Brentford. It looks like it's a 4th place finish. Man City have just won their match as well, so it looks like it's a 4th place finish. We did beat Forest in the final game of the season. Not the most exciting. I guess, 4's good. 4's still pretty good. Liverpool were crowned champions then in that title decider at Stamford Bridge, which must have been so much better as well. The fact that it was away from home, they win to be crowned champions. We are in the Europa League. Arsenal in the Champions League. What? How? Why is that a thing? So why are Arsenal in the Champions League? Have you won something that I'm not aware of? You won the Europa League. You beat Spurs in the final. I bet that was fun. You beat Spurs in the final, which means you get in the Champions League. Why are we not in the Champions League? Because only 3 teams go in the Champions League. Hold on. I know we're kind of going off piste. Sure, we'll say that. We should be getting 4 teams in there. Why aren't we getting 4 teams in there? Why are we not getting 4 teams in the Champions League? Is it because bloody Arsenal, isn't it? It's because Arsenal have won the Europa League. We don't get Champions League. Even though, in the final episode of this save, we are going to be playing the Champions League final against PSG at the Nou Camp. And we are certainly in cracking form for that, aren't we? So it all comes down to this then, the final episode of the Aston Villa save, the Champions League final against PSG. We are in Spain, we're playing at the Nou Camp. PSG looking to be back-to-back winners of the Champions League. We, however, have the joint top scorer in the competition in Sanket. Mbappe also has 9 goals as well to his name, but I think there is a chance that this could take place. We could win the Champions League in the final game. This is how we got there as well. So in the league phase, we obviously had the new weird fancy league phase. So we beat Porto 6-5, a ridiculous way to kick off our Champions League run. A win against Genk, Dinamo 4-0, Girassi with a hat-trick. Against Inter Milan, Sanket scoring a hat-trick in this one, beating them 3-1, beating Slavia Prague. A 1-1 draw with Monaco was our first drop points. We then got back to winning ways with Benfica, and then a 2-2 draw against Manchester City. And then we almost fell at the round of 16 because we lost against Borussia Mönchengladbach, but we managed to win the second leg 3-1 thanks to Gyökeres, Milenkovic-Savic and Girassi. Man City once again this time in the quarterfinals, and we get through just about after the second leg thanks to 2 late goals in extra time from Kromaski and Gyökeres. And then Liverpool, similar situation, a 1-1 draw, and then a 1-0 win thanks to Moussa Diaby, putting us in the final against PSG. And I think we've got a chance to win this. I really do. And I kind of hope we don't lose and balls this up. The starting lineup then for the final is going to be Perry in goal, Connor Goldson, Concert, Doyle and Ait-Nouri, Douglas Luiz, Milenkovic-Savic and Sanket in midfield, Diaby, Son and Gyökeres leading the lines. Connor Goldson is going to be playing in a Champions League final, and I'm pretty sure he's going to be the captain as well. Although it might be Douglas Luiz. Nope, it's Connor Goldson. Connor Goldson is the captain of potential Champions League winning Aston Villa. There you can see the PSG starting 11. It's good, isn't it? It's certainly good at football. Obviously, they are missing some... Neymar, I guess he's getting on a bit now. We sat in the reserves. So, wait, hold on. He sat in the reserves for... Oh, whoa, I probably should do a team talk, shouldn't I? So did Neymar go back to PSG in this save? Or was he... I can't remember. He must have been playing in Saudi at the start of the save, and he's gone back to PSG. Right, the first 15 minutes or so is going to kind of tell you how this match is going to run. And so far, no highlights, although Dembele has the ball after 9 minutes for PSG down the line, cuts inside, tries to get some space for himself. Aït-Nouri's given him a kick and it's a penalty. I was about to say, we've looked good in terms of possession, so just based on match stats alone, we've had like 60% possession, and then this happens, and immediately there's a penalty in the final. Lucas Perry, please, Lucas Perry, do us a favour, save this, make a hero of yourself. It is shoulder up, stepping up to take it, blast it past Perry, PSG take the lead, and that could be what is the end of a very disappointing Champions League final. If we lose this 1-0 because of a penalty, I'm going to be fuming. I'm going to be absolutely fuming. Straight after the goal, we've got another highlight. We've managed to find Konsa somehow. Connor Goldson on the right-hand side. Captain Connor. Diaby goes down the wing. He's got 4 in the box. A couple more possibly joining as well. He's decided to just lose the ball to Mendes. He's nicked it back though. Gyökeres is there. And Gyökeres has put the ball in the back of the net. It is 1-1. It took us 2 minutes, under 2 minutes, to get back on level terms. That's filled me with a little bit more hope. That penalty might have been just a complete fluke, completely against the run of play, and that Villa goal is the kind of the way this match is going to go. Been very little happening though. 3 shots for us, 1 shot for PSG, which is obviously from the penalty spot. Son Heung-min's ready for bed. He's not very good, guys. He was a waste of £30 million. There's so little going on. We're going to go in at half-time, and it's going to be a 1-1 draw. We've got 2 minutes of injury time that have just disappeared completely. 1-1 at half-time in the Champions League final. We're doing well. We've dominated possession. We're actually doing quite well when it comes to strikers, like attacking players. So Diaby's playing well. Gyökeres is playing well. Even Son's playing well. We're not going to do any changes yet. We're going to see what comes of the first 15 minutes of the second half, which is nothing, apparently. Oh, no, wait, maybe something's happening. Milenkovic-Savic to Diaby. He goes for a run to Douglas Luiz. Ball forward. Milenkovic-Savic to Sanket. Doesn't quite get there, but Ezri Konsa is alive enough. Son's got an injury. He's passed the ball through to Gyökeres, though. Donnarumma makes the save. We need to be bringing Son off sooner rather than later. I'm going to see what comes from this corner, though. It is Diaby to take the corner. Plenty of white shirts in the middle. It's not a good corner, though. Milenkovic-Savic finds Son. Go for goal, mate. Go for goal. He does go for goal. Vitinha gets in the way, and that's probably going to end the highlight. Konsa maybe is keeping it alive. Ramos, it's fallen for nobody. Now Dembele on the right-hand side for PSG. Just end the highlight. What's going on? I'm almost certain nothing's coming from this. There you go. Right, let's do this change. Let's bring off Son. He wants to stay on, but injury is affecting him. We can do Ramsey. That's fine. Who's Andrew Hunt? Andrew Hunt's on the subs bench. Why are you on the subs bench in the Champions League final? It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. You're not going to be coming on. We can do only 3 stoppages, so I'm tempted to do another sub now. Although, let's not bother. And we can do 2 more stoppages with 2 subs in each. Aït-Nouri is struggling. Milenkovic-Savic is struggling as well. But looking at the PSG players, they're also all struggling. Bar Dembele and Shelderup, really. We're having so many more chances. 11 shots, 5 on target. No highlights to speak of, though. Almost in the final 10 minutes. Kimpembe with the free kick inside the Villa half. Sanchez plays it on the ground to Shelderup. Can he get a second of the game? I hope he doesn't. He almost manages to do it. Lucas Perry with a good save. Dembele's gone over to take it from the left-hand side. Where is it going to go? Towards the front post. Sanket clears it. He's not done particularly well, nor is Milenkovic-Savic. None of our midfields are playing well at all. Dembele loses out to Goldson, but nicks it straight back off him. Goldson, what a slide tackle that is from Connor Goldson. Sanchez to Shelderup. We need to stop this attack. Good. It just ends. We've got 10 minutes. We're going to do another couple of changes. Fitness-related and performance-related, I guess. Luka Dean, Kamara and Kramaski coming on for Savic, Aït-Nouri and Douglas Luiz. Not necessarily in that order. We can do one more stop if we want to do it, but I don't want to do it just yet. I'm going to hold on to that one for a bit of time wasting. Cross comes... We've won a corner. We've won a corner from nothing, apparently. I don't know if we're going to even see the corner. We're not. We've done our subs. We are going to see the corner. Luke Dean steps up to take it. Connor Goldson's there. Oh my word, I thought Connor Goldson was going to score. I think it was actually Callum Doyle with a headed effort, but still, the fact that Connor Goldson was there got me all a bit excited. 4 minutes of injury time, 1-1 potentially at the 90 minutes. We've gone into extra time. We're in extra time in the Champions League final. What do we say? Keep going. You're doing well. You're doing the business. Do we do a change? Who's playing badly? Connor Goldson's struggling. Connor Bateman's coming on. The youngster. Can we do it? We can do another sub. We can do another sub if we want. I think we hold on. I'm looking at Gyökeres for, where is he? Jurassi, but we're going to hold on for now. I feel like this is going to go to penalties, you know? And if it goes to penalties, maybe we have a rethink about our subs. Luca Dean, I think, hits the bar? He did hit the bar and it went over. PSG have done a whole load of changes. Sola is on. So is, it looks like Neymar. Fabian's come on. So is Skriniar. Skriniar must be getting on a bit. He's only 31. Okay, fair enough. I mean, their players are so much better than ours. We're going to go straight into the second half. But we have one more stoppage that we can do if we want to do it. And I think we're going to do it now. Now, you might be questioning why I'm doing this. Right, we are bringing on Jurassi for Moussa Diaby. Diaby is very, very tired. Jurassi has 16 penalty taken, so does Gyökeres. So I don't want to basically take off Gyökeres for Jurassi. We're going for penalties. I mean, we're not going for penalties. We're still, obviously, would love to win this game in normal time or extra time. But we're planning for penalties if it's going to happen. And it looks like it might happen. We've got Neymar with the ball inside his own penalty area. We have a highlight. Sanket to Ramsey. Ramsey, where are you going to go? Tries to get a little bit of space for himself. Finds Gyökeres on the right-hand side. Get your cross in, buddy. Get your cross in. Does cross it in. Ramsey's at the back post. Oh, my word. Jacob Ramsey scored. What has happened? In the 122nd minute of the Champions League final, Jacob Ramsey may well have just won Villa the Champions League. What's just happened? What has just happened? We've won the Champions League with Aston Villa. What has gone on? What has actually gone on? I have no idea. Is Connor Goldson picking up the trophy? Is that? Please tell me that's Connor Goldson picking up the Champions League trophy. Oh my word. What has happened? Genuinely, I don't win the Champions League. This isn't a thing that happens to me, but apparently, for Aston Villa, this is something that I'm capable of doing. Just won the flipping Champions League. I don't think I've even seen the Champions League trophy in Football Manager since they've had the licenses in. That's how bad I am at winning the Champions League. And we've done it with Villa. We've done it with Villa in 3 seasons. Jacob Ramsey comes off the subs bench to score the winner in the 122nd minute. Gyökeres with the goal that kept us in the game, with the assist for the equaliser, for the winner as well. Gyökeres, he was expensive, but technically he has just won us a Champions League. I've just got an achievement for winning a top continental competition. I didn't think I'd do that in November, but apparently, here we are. We've won the flipping Champions League. And it wouldn't be a post-match news without basically saying, Son Heung-min's injured for 2 to 3 weeks. That's like your 9th injury of the season, mate. You've had far too many. We've won the Champions League. We won the Champions League. We've qualified for the World Club Championships, whatever that means as well. I mean, Chelsea won it last year. I'm arguably looking at those. We're probably going to win the next one then, aren't we? Who gets a medal? Any silly players getting medals? Thomas Day gets a medal. Thomas Day gets a Champions League winners medal. Samuel Bentley does as well. Aidan Borland gets the Champions League winners medal. Even Kumbula gets one. He played once. Pearce creates history for Aston Villa. Our 2nd time winning the Champions League. I'm actually in shock. I'm actually in shock that we've managed to win the Champions League. PSG in the final. The last time they won it was like 1982 against Bayern Munich in is that final stadium? It is final stadium. This time around at the Nou Camp, we beat PSG. And because of that, it now means that England have 6 teams in the Champions League, 3 teams in the Europa League, and Everton, who finished 10th place in the table, have qualified for Europe. They finished 10th. How have we got so many teams in the Champions League? I don't understand how we've got 6 teams, but there we are. This is what I wanted to see, and I'm so happy that it happened. Sanket wins Player of the Season, Champions League Player of the Season. He also wins the Golden Boot. I assume purely because, I don't know, he played less matches? Yeah, less playing time than all 3, somehow. He's still got 9 goals from central midfield. That's ridiculous. The dream team. Perry's in there. Luca Dean. Doyle's somehow in there. The front 2 of Gyökeres and Jurassi as well. Oh, it's... What? We've won everything. We've won... Best goalkeeper, Lucas Perry. Best defender goes to Callum Doyle with Luca Dean 2nd. We've then got Sanket as best midfielder, Jurassi as best forward with Haaland, and then Gyökeres in 3rd. What has happened? What has actually happened? Well, we're going to finish off this episode and this season and this save with the end of season review, which is going to be weird reading, isn't it? We did a lot of business. Signing of the season goes to Gyökeres for £95 million, but he did get 13 goals and 9 assists, which actually isn't... I mean, it's not amazing, but when you think he only started 25 games, that is basically a goal or an assist pretty much every game. So I'm happy with that. I'll take that. Son Heung-min somehow managed to get 26 games out of his £30 million, but he also managed to pick up... I think he got more injuries than goals. That is how his season went. He got more injuries than goals. So there is confirmation of the league table, finishing 4th place, just 2 points behind Man City, which we were 3rd up until like the last couple of kicks of the game where City basically relegated. Was it Wolves or Brentford? It was one of those two. FA Cup, Man City were our nightmare there. We lose to Spurs in the final of the Carabao Cup, and then we win the Champions League. I might print this out and stick it on my wall. So we've got a whole bunch of awards that have come in. Obviously, we know most of them. We've got Rooney as English Player's Young Player of the Year, which is quite good, and the rest of them are Champions League stuff. Sanket surely has to be our Fans Player of the Year, right? Diaby. It's gone to Diaby. It should be Sanket. Just put it out there. He got 13 league goals, an average rating of a 7.15 in all competitions, 23 goals and 10 assists. Sanket's ridiculous. It's also probably not how you say his name at all, but we've gone with it for about a year and a half. History in the making. There it is. The Champions League trophy with Aston Villa carved on it for a second time. We set a record as well for the most goals scored in a Champions League season with 34. That's a lot of goals. 9 of them were Sankets as well, which is mad. It's still mad. So that is going to do it then for the Aston Villa save, and we finished it off in possibly the best way we could have. With the win in the Champions League final, it would have been nice to finish 3rd in the table. It would have been nice to win the league, let's be honest. But winning the Champions League final, that's made me a happy boy. That has certainly cheered me up. If you did enjoy this season and this save, do remember to click the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. And I'll be back with more Football Manager. I've got a new save planned, which is hopefully going to be starting very, very soon. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in whatever I do next.